Hello. Before we start the episode, just want to let you guys know that we love hearing from you every week. We're so glad that you're enjoying the podcast. Alan and I both love doing this so much, and we're going to continue to grow. But we need your help. If you could take a quick 5 seconds and hop on over to Apple Podcasts and rate the show, that will help us reach a larger audience, and it'll make me and Alan very, very happy. If you have any ideas for who we should have on the show, please send those over to james@statesidemgmt.com. Thanks so much, guys. Welcome back to the Stateside Podcast with your host, James Ian Macmillan and Alan Ashcraft to the left of me.
How we doing?
And I'm going to use the word delicious.
Oh boy.
Our delicious guest is sitting in the glimmering corner next to the Irish flag. He is from a really fantastic band called the Angry LISAS. They're a local Portland band. Check him out. Welcome to the show, Sean Taylor.
Hey, guys.
Welcome.
Thanks for being patient, Sean. As usual, I think I'm ready to go. We get here early, and then all hell breaks loose.
Dude, that's like the only way it should go, I think.
Yeah. We're used to it. You're in a band.
If something doesn't work, like, that means you're probably doing something right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So Hal, tell me about the band. Just, for the audience listening at home, give them kind of the quick bio and how you guys started, how many people are in the band, all that good stuff.
Yeah, that's funny because I get that same ad.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I play in a band called the Angry LISAS. We've been around the project's been around a long time, but we really just started doing stuff in like 2016 maybe. It's kind of when we started actually like getting the set together, getting the guys out, doing shows and stuff like that.
You were in a band before that.
Yeah.
I guess like everyone, you've been in a bunch of bands.
Forever. Yeah, I've been playing music since I was like 13 years old. Actually, that's kind of how I know Alan, sort of.
Yeah,
I don't know if you know this. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I wanted to fill in these holes because James asked me, and I told him about like our most recent thing, designing for Angry LISAS and all that, but I was like, I think there was something before that too.
So you designed for Angry LISAS.
Yeah. You
did two shirts for my old band, The Cold Ground.
Oh,
this was like 2014 maybe? Yep. Yeah. 2013? 12? I don't know. It was a long time ago.
12 sounds right.
Yeah. But before that, so we were looking for somebody to design our shirts, and one of my buddies was like, "Oh, hit up Alan. He was the drummer for Across the Sun."
Yeah. And
I was like, "Oh, okay." And my band in high school played some shows with Across the Sun out in Sandy at the community center. Oh yeah,
dude. Sandy.
You remember those days?
That's a special
out in Sandy.
Yeah. So there was
a special era,
Sandy,
dude.
Yeah. So we were. I mean, I was a kid. I was like 15 years old.
Yeah.
14 years old, and we would like book the community center out there. And we would like bring in Portland bands and then high school bands would play and like all the high school kids would come out.
Yeah.
And it was super cool. So like a bunch of I didn't meet you back then, but a bunch of my buddies had.
Yeah.
And they were like, "Oh, dude, you got to hit up Alan for work."
Oh, that's crazy. Yeah. I didn't know any of that. Yeah. The Sandy stuff that's one of those like, I'll think about that every now and then, but it's one of those things I don't have anybody to talk to about that.
Yeah.
Because it's one of those things, if you try to tell somebody about those days, they're like, "Yeah, man, that's adorable. Sounds cute. It was a good time." I was like, "No, you don't understand. Like some lady that like ran the place would just let a bunch of disgusting teenagers just have it until like midnight."
Yep.
They would always hire like one police officer.
Yep.
Who would walk around the room.
Yep.
Intimidating the kids. Typically loved the music himself.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
It was wild. Yeah, we loved that shit.
But the kids would just come. Like there'd be so many people.
Tons
of
kids.
They'd come hard.
Some of them probably do. Let's be honest.
If this couch would have been there,
those kids would just come so hard.
Yeah, it was insane. Like it's funny because some of those shows were better than like any shows I played as an adult.
That's why I'm not sarcastic when I say it was just a special era, because we would bail on we bailed on a couple bigger like Portland shows opening for bands we really liked because there was a Sandy opportunity. So we were like, "Oh, we're gonna do the Sandy thing for sure." Yeah,
we have a few of those too. Like the Hillsborough crew, Stefan and Crummett, Chris Crummett, all those dudes. We'd throw these shows out in Hillsborough. like at the Hillsborough Grange.
Right. Oh yeah. Grange Halls or what's up?
Aloha Grange. And we'd get like bigger bands for us, like fucking Shiner and Hum, these bigger bands would come and play and they'd headline. And it was like, it was the craziest thing ever. We'd have like 800 people show up to these tiny fucking halls.
Yeah,
and
it's almost frustrating that like back when it mattered less, you could be more successful. Like some of my best shows were when I was 14 and I go to the Hazeldale Grange and and by the way, if you ever talk to Stefan and you just say Barber Grange, he will lose his fucking, to this day, because I was obsessed with Shelter Red, so I was like, dude, you guys got to come out, play this thing. He's like, all right. And the place looked like shit, but the stage was like, it was almost like curved at the front.
I don't know. The one that I played at in Shelter Red?
No, you were at the Hazeldale Grange.
Okay.
Which I liked more. It was bigger. It was like a 450 cap, and we got close to fucking selling it out a lot. And I'm 16, and I've got, fucking $1,200.
So
and now I've got to go out in my Ford Bronco and like, make sure nobody can see me with all this money so I don't get jumped, and then divide it between all the bands. And but the Barber Grange was it was a whatever show, but Stefan maintains that it was the best show that they've ever played. Like, I guess the stage sound was like optimum. It was the best stage sound he ever experienced. But yeah, just these shitty shows. And like,
I know
a lot of it was we were in high school, and where is it easier to promote than a bunch of kids who have no fucking plans for the weekend?
Yeah. Well, it was cool just because like everybody wanted to be there too. And it's like, and at least with like,
that's the key thing.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, now you have to hound people.
I know.
And it's like,
people are standing with their arms crossed. Looking at their watch.
Yeah, exactly.
They got to work tomorrow.
Now, exactly, dude. It's like everybody wants to go to bed at like 10 o'clock, and like nobody wants to have a good time.
Wait till you hit your 30s, man. It just gets worse and worse.
Yeah, I know.
Trying to get my group of friends to go anywhere, including myself, dude.
I think all of 2000. What was last year? 2018.
Yep.
All of 2018. It was like, somehow we only played Friday and Saturday night shows.
Yeah.
And it was like the whole year we were just like riding high on it. We're like, dude, this is awesome. Like, we get to sleep in tomorrow. Like, this is so cool.
See, that started to backfire for my band. We try to book weekend shows, and then it occurred to us that all of our friends, the great majority of them, were bartenders and waiters. So, you have to book like a Tuesday night show if you want your buddies to come out.
I experienced exactly this where the band I'm in played its first show in like 3 years. We had like a bunch of lineup changes and shit.
I was out of town. I'm bummed I missed it.
Yeah, and it was on a Sunday night, and I'd been saying for the longest time, we were like writing a little bit, and we weren't sure if we were going to do the whole like live show thing, and then we got an opportunity, so we were like, all right, let's do it. And I'd been saying months leading up to that I wanted specifically some like crusty Wednesday night, like max capacity of like 30. Like, I didn't want our first show to be in front of a ton of people.
Right.
Yeah.
So, I hear that it's Sunday, and I'm like, oh, beautiful, dude. Who's going to show up to that? It ends up being the most convenient shit because we open that show. So 6:30 on a Sunday, people are like, oh, dude, I have all the time in the world for that. I'll be home by 7:30.
Yep.
I'm in bed by 9.
Yep.
Love it. So we had a fuckload of people there, and luckily it all went.
Was that the Paris?
Yeah, it was at the Paris Theater.
Saying those words out loud is just so funny.
Such a bizarre
Was it
venue
at the Paris?
now.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Have you guys been there recently?
Oh yeah, I saw Mike's band play there actually.
Okay.
That's like one of the first venues we all played at when we were
that was
like
the
14.
first. Yeah, when I was like 13 or 14,
Yes.
I remember like one of my friends had an older brother. He's like, we're gonna go to a concert.
That would be like our generation.
And I was like, cool, dude. Like, I've never seen like a
seedy as fuck back then.
punk band in Portland. Like, oh, that sounds cool. He's like, yeah, we're going to the Paris.
Yep.
And I was like, cool, man.
It was right
And
next
we
to
went.
Another State of Mind. That punk rock place.
Oh yeah.
It's
was-
open like 1 hour.
Yeah. Oh man, it was like one of my first Portland shows I ever saw was like Paris before it closed and turned
Same.
into the weird.
I used to think that Portland was
Jack
like
off
fucking
them.
Broadway. I was
Oh,
like, how
yeah.
do we
Me
break
too.
into Portland?
I
And then it
know.
was
Isn't that
Paris
weird?
Theater, and that's when we played Battle of the Bands with Shelter Red. That's where
At Paris?
I became aware of Shelter Red in like, what would that be, 2003?
Something like that.
I mean, it was forever ago.
It's shit. I started Shelter Red in like 2002.
Okay.
Because I remember me
How
and my
long were
buddies, we backpacked through Europe for 2 months, and I remember that was 2000. It was right before 9/11.
Okay.
So we got home, 9/11 happened, and I had only been home for like a week.
So it could have been up to
And then-
2005. I just know
because I remember right after that I started the band, so it was like, yeah. It was maybe
I was
2002.
still in high school, and I was out of high school in 2005. So
I would have still been in the band by then.
Yeah. And I remember specifically being like, whoa, like this venue, oh my God, Portland, like this is the rock venue, this is so sick. And then like somebody was sound checking their kick, and sound guy's like, hey, give me the kick, and it's like goosh, goosh.
Right.
And then some fucking rats, a family of rats came
Flew
from
out of
under
the
the
kick drum.
stage.
Whoa.
Under the stage, kind of looked around like, what the fuck is
That
is
doesn't
the,
get more punk rock than
is the
that.
building falling apart? And then they like cut like a hard right and they go under some other shit, and I'm just like, that's so cool. Like
Yeah.
I had like
I just thought it was so rad.
all of my first like formal, like, you know, rock and roll experiences at the Paris Theater.
Yeah. Well,
You know,
now they got fucking VIP sections, and they make all their money
they
on
have
nightclub
lights.
shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. They have like a $50,000 like LED backdrop.
You can like see the
Oh, really?
floor.
Dude, an hour before the show, our vocalist hits me up and goes, "Dude, we have to give him some sort of like a 2x1
Oh yeah, I saw
static
that big-
image."
Is that what
Design
that
something
was?
right
That was
now,
on the
Yeah,
Alan.
they're like, "Do it right now," and I'm like, "Oh my God, okay."
You're
So
a professional.
yeah,
Can you
so
pull that shit up? I want to see that. That's on
Yeah.
the band's Instagram, right?
yes, it is. That would actually be the best place to go.
It was a good show though.
I think so. Yeah.
There were like,
Actually,
man,
yeah.
you know, when I was young too, like, I felt like I played a lot more like cool shows.
Same.
It was
Yeah.
like we never did like Paris, but it was like, man, we played Satyricon like
basement
3 or
shows,
4
too.
times.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah, like, oh cool.
We had a really good string of like college shows, like in like people's dorm
Oh,
room.
yeah.
Like weird random fucking not dorm rooms, but like their that's not the right word. Fraternity buildings or
Oh yeah,
whatever.
yeah.
Like, look at these chandeliers, dude.
Crazy. That's the Paris Theater.
What's less rock and roll than that?
Whoa. That looks rad though.
It does
does.
look pretty rad. Look at those smoke machines
Good for
going on.
them, man.
Wow, look at that backdrop you
That
made in
is
5
a
minutes.
old
Yeah.
school Portland.
You didn't make that in 5 minutes. That
I
was something
swear to
else.
God.
Really?
Yeah, had
I'm
to.
sure he did.
Had no
That would've
choice. I had
that
my
would have
backpack
taken me
on.
a year.
My backpack
Yeah,
was
so
on
now
my
that I
back
know
when
it only takes you 5 minutes to make a backdrop
Yeah.
before I leave.
Well, technically, okay, I manage producers and mix engineers. So my argument is, well, you're not paying them for the time. You're paying them
paying
for
them
the
for
value.
all the years.
Oh, well,
that
see,
they've-
right.
you want to hear mine? Because
Hey man,
I've
I've
had
paid
it before.
Alan every time.
I've had people go, "Oh, you did that really quick." That was like, and I was like, "Yeah, I knocked it out in like 30 minutes." They're like, "Oh, it was only 30 minutes." I'm like, "Well, technically, it was 16
There's
years
16
in 30,
years?
30
Yeah,
minutes."
yeah.
Well, that's the truth.
Yeah,
It's
it
not
is.
technically,
And then
it's
do the
truth.
math and tell them how much that is per hour.
Right,
And then
yeah.
they'll
All
feel
the
really
gear
bad.
you've
Yeah, that's
bought.
$50 an hour times 16
Dude,
years.
especially for producers. Not only is it the time it takes them to get to this place where they're good, but all the fucking gear they've invested.
Oh yeah.
All Mike and all they have fucking credit card debt.
Oh,
every
yeah.
one of them.
Fuck yes.
So yeah, I have a very little sympathy, and it's funny because people also do not just the time. They'll say, well, and I will admit there is some validity to this, but they'll say like, well, it's just me and a ukulele. You know, it's just me and my acoustic guitar. Is it still going to be the full rate? You're like, yeah.
Right.
Technically, yes. I mean, we should have a conversation. We can figure this out. But technically, yeah. I mean, it doesn't matter if it's a 200-piece orchestra or you and your harmonica.
Well, and-
the value for X producer is the same.
Well,
Yeah.
at the risk of sounding conceited too, whenever somebody says something like that to me, I usually am like, well, then if you're questioning whether or not my work has any value, you didn't research me enough.
Yeah.
You didn't see what I'm capable
We
of.
might not be a good fit.
Right.
Yeah.
You need to go look at what I can do, and then you're going to be like, hey, man, whatever you
Dude.
want to charge. Because
And it doesn't even matter how long it takes at that
No,
point. It's like if you can produce something that someone likes in 5 minutes, who
Why is that
cares?
a bad thing?
Yeah,
Right.
it's like the thing you get is the same.
That's right.
well,
So there's no
that's right.
point. Yeah.
And
I know.
anytime a client has come to me and been like, that only took you 5 minutes, like, why am I paying $500 for that?
You
Then
should say you're welcome.
I usually, what I respond with is, well, what do you value more, time or money? And then there's always a huge pregnant pause because they're like, fuck, I never considered
That's
it.
really good.
And
What's the triangle?
'cause
It's
the
like
thi-
it's
yeah,
like quality, time,
Right.
and cost.
because if you
Right.
value time over money, I should be charging you twice as much as I did because I just did it in 5 minutes. You now have a print file good to go. I'm not fucking with your day, your week.
Yep.
You can run
Yep.
your business, your band.
Yep.
If it's money, then okay, I'm going to take 3 weeks on this. It's going to be sick, but you only got to pay this amount. Like you can't have it both
Absolutely.
ways.
Yep.
So you just have to, there has to be a symmetry of logic there.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a conversation I'm trying to have with especially young people in bands the past 6 months or so. And it's really the message is, okay, if you're starting out in this thing, this is a karma based industry. And what you put out is going to come back to you. So if you do want to undermine Mike or whoever it is, then it really does come back to start this thing out right. Pay these guys what they're worth.
Oh, yeah.
Pay them even more than that.
Yeah.
If you can. I know it's hard, and I don't want you to go bankrupt, but like, you know what I'm saying?
Oh,
You got to show them the love. And if you start a relationship with especially producers, and you started out the right way, you're going to win, because they're going to tell everyone around them. And the bigger it gets, Crummets of the world, these guys, they fucking know people. Crummet's manager is the guy who found fucking
Panic at the Disco.
And you know, like come on, man.
Well,
a breath away from success.
I mean, there's so many short-sighted individuals. If you're
really short-sighted, I
mean, even on a smaller scale of what you're deciding, like when I work with Sean, if he was a nightmare, there's no way I would invite him on this podcast. Right. And I'm not saying that because he's on this podcast now, he's going to be on the cover of Time magazine tomorrow. But it's still an opportunity.
You're like, I thought it was.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're still, even if 100 people listen to this, that's 100
That's a great example.
Because he wasn't a dick to work with, there's now guaranteed another 100 people that are going to hear. And that's a small thing. But then if you quantify that, I mean, it
now
just
people
pays.
go check out the band, people listen to the show, and they're at 90% of our audience are music-based people.
Oh, yeah.
You know, it's like...
It just pays to be a decent person, be a decent customer.
I know.
Just like it's my responsibility to be a decent designer. Respond to that email as quickly as you can. We all get busy. I get it. But, you know, try to just be, even if you can't respond with a hard answer, respond with that. Hey, I'm looking for the answer for you, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
I would say it's the real and genuine critique of any of the people I represent.
Yeah.
Of me. They'll say that. They'll say, I know you're a busy guy, James. The only thing I'm asking from you is to just respond quickly.
What helped me,
even if it's not the most warm, you know, lengthy response. Just say, hey, I see you. I acknowledge you.
Yep.
We'll get back to you as soon as we can.
Yeah, what helped me was just the rule, and it's an old rule, but do, delegate, or delete. So it's an email you can't do anything about, delete it. If it's something you have nothing to do with, delegate it.
Right.
If you can knock it out, do. And do is kind of that's the one you really have to focus on, because do doesn't always mean execute. Do can literally mean respond that you intend to execute.
Do something.
Oh, yeah.
Do something.
What is it? Do. What are the three again?
Do, delegate, or delete.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, just
That's
people
great.
knowing that you're thinking about their thing.
Yes.
Is like super important. So it's like I do a ton of guitar
with
repairs.
art.
Yeah, and it's like if you have somebody's thing, just to be like, hey, I can't get to it this week, maybe not even next week, but I'm thinking about it, and it's not off my radar.
Yeah.
Like that's enough.
I know.
That's enough for people to just be like, okay, yeah, just on your own time, like do it.
Yeah.
Which
Totally.
is cool. Like it's cool to have that rapport with people.
Yes. Yeah, it's so important.
So what are some of the influences for the Angelisas?
Yeah, well, you've got a sweet hot water music poster right here. I feel like it's weird because I don't really feel like our band like belongs anywhere. It's like, I mean, I was super influenced by like this wave of punk rock, you know?
Right. Yeah.
Like when I was young, like I grew up listening to bands like NoFX or
Me too,
like
yeah. I was just telling him I'm in this like punk ska
Yeah.
mood lately.
Yeah,
a lot of Rancid. And,
Oh yeah, I love
it.
Rancid. It was like NoFX, Rancid. Like I listened to a bunch of Weezer. Like I had an older sister, and so it was like she was getting into
How
that
old is
kind of
she?
stuff. 7 years older.
So like my age, 35.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Somewhere in there. Yeah.
So that's we probably.
I'm bad at math. Yeah.
Me too.
So it was like the first we'd be in the car and she'd be like, "This is Weezer. It's your favorite band."
Right.
And I'd be like, "Okay, yeah."
Dude, the Blue
This is
Album
awesome.
and Pinkerton
Yeah.
are just the best.
And so it's like I grew up with like it was literally the Blue Album and like Enema of the State.
Yeah.
Or like
Fuck
the two
yeah.
CDs that like it was just back and forth.
God,
back and
Enema
forth.
of the State
So
was
cool,
some
man.
shit. I'm not even a Blink fan, but like you have to
Everyone's
recognize
got to give
That
props.
album, like I mean, it's just like it's a great piece of history.
By the way,
Yeah.
Alan, that's another band that growing up, like when you first met me back in the day, we were such arrogant, like pompous.
Oh yeah. It's
I
because
mean,
we
you
were
know that.
insecure.
Yeah. And
we were told to fake it until we make it, and then we do that, and then we're called dickheads.
yeah, and like we were just
can't
elitist.
fucking win.
Such elitist. Like
Yeah.
Blink-182 and even Rants and all those bands where you're like, fuck that, man.
Yeah, it was so uncool.
So uncool. And now that you're older and you look back, you're like, those are like actual rock bands.
Yeah.
And you're comparing them to the fucking horseshit that's out there now.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
So,
I was a part of that clique that like because Slipknot was my band. That was like
Right.
the most important fucking.
See, that was
band.
another band I used to make fun of.
Yeah,
And now I'm like, what?
And for
what?
me,
How?
because there's no way to objectively quantify what what band is better than what. So I had to make it, the heaviest band is the best.
Yeah.
And Slipknot's heavier than Blink-182 by a fucking metric ton.
What is that? What is that?
So Blink-182 and then of course you do the whole like...
It's like a machismo thing,
You do
right?
the
It's
whole
like,
homosexual thing.
Right,
like
exactly.
They're gay. That's why they're so... they're playing a different style of music that comes from... But that's just what I would always do. So I was that prick that was just like, some kid would be like, dude, it's all about NoFX. And I'd be like, bro, go listen to Mudvayne and get back to me.
Yeah,
You're like, NoFX isn't even playing crank amps, dude.
And you don't realize how dumb you
don't
sound.
have masks,
like,
bro.
I look at Mudvayne now and I'm like, I'm listening to dudes in makeup. Like,
but
I'm not that
That's
cool.
way gayer if we want to compare.
Right, if you want to go that way.
Yeah.
And then you compare like the dude from NoFX's net worth with like anybody from any metal band, and you're just like,
or the fucking legacy. What is Mudvayne doing right
Dude,
now?
Yeah.
The
Nothing.
past year or so, I've directly written invoices to Fat Mike.
Oh, yeah.
And it's like my 15-year-old's brain was just
I'm sure,
losing its mind.
yeah. Well, it's like there's
and I can just to not to interrupt you, but you are right. He is doing well.
Oh, yeah.
And the guy, like, Jesus Christ, man.
Well,
It doesn't matter
you
what
look
hours
at-
you put on there.
You look at like
It's because
he's got. I mean, he's like number one on the net worth of all like punk rockers.
Yeah.
he's the man, dude.
Not that I mean that's just what Google said. I don't know.
Right.
But it's like there's always like who are the richest dudes in punk rock, and it's like
He's an entrepreneur.
it's like dude from Bad Religion who started the label.
The
and
doctor.
Is Feldman up there? John Feldman?
He has
We
to
could look
be.
it up, dude.
He would have to be.
Let's
There's no
look it
way
up,
he's
dude.
not.
I mean, Goldfinger, the last record was on Rise.
Oh yeah,
And-
for
and
sure, dude.
I worked with him on that last album.
And he gets points on
He did
everything
like
does.
I mean he's getting
Dude.
the producer credits. Like he
Yeah.
did the last Blink album.
Yeah,
and
He's
like,
writing
yes.
like actual
Oh
points
yeah.
from
So
that.
I mean,
Yeah.
I don't know, man.
Yeah, there was a band.
There's some
on-
royalties.
He's balling.
Yeah,
There was a
yeah.
band on Rise called Makeout, and I think that Feldman did a lot
Change
of
it.
that.
Mm-hmm.
He was fucking shit up there too. Like he just has so many streams of
Oh
I
yeah.
know, man.
those guys get it
Oh, yeah.
done. I love it.
And
So
Mike
cool.
from MXPX is playing bass for them now.
That's
right?
another band I've been kind of listening to
Yeah.
lately.
Well, that
which
was
I
like
never
that was,
listened to.
That was
growing up,
another like
ever.
when I was a kid, it was like listening to that kind of stuff. So yeah, it was like listening to all that punk rock like as a kid. But then like
But they
I wasn't.
releases are not punk rock.
No, we're not really. No,
You
not
guys
at all.
remind me more of like the Weezer side.
Yeah.
Like Super Drag. Did you ever hear Super Drag?
Yeah.
Growing up.
So the two records we have out are like
From what I heard.
the record we're working on with Mike is going to be like a rock and roll record. It's like
that's awesome.
it's we cranked it up like 3 notches, which I'm really excited about. But yeah, like back in the day, I was listening to those bands, but like I wasn't writing music when I was a kid, you know.
Yeah.
And so then like bands like Hot Water Music came around when I was older, or like Against Me, or like the Gaslight Anthem, or like these dudes who
Huge
were like influenced by punk rock, but then like not doing punk rock. They were just doing some rock and roll variant of like
Yes,
whatever they
yeah.
That's
grew
what I
up
love
on.
about Josh Homme from Queen's of
Oh,
Stone
yeah.
Age. He's like Black Flag and
Yeah.
Dead Kennedys and all these like hardcore punk bands.
Yeah.
But then he just took that and made it like
That is
Vicodin
interesting.
version.
That does actually happen I never really thought about that, but that's a thing that happens quite a bit. I guess, I mean, we're all a little bit. The band I'm in now is more like what you guys are describing, and
Yeah.
I was never a fan of that shit.
Yeah.
I just, but
Right.
I'm 32, so I'm at that point now where I can let go of the vanity of, well, is it heavy? Is there a lot of double kick? I'm just
God, I
like,
don't
bro, I'm
care.
playing drums.
Yeah, and
that's
it's
all-
fun, and
I've
we're
played
having
drums
a
in a
good time.
goth metal band. I had to wear makeup every night for fucking
Dude, honestly,
9
Alan,
weeks.
from what I remember, and I don't, I could be wrong, but from what I remember, like the way that you used to play compared to now, I like the way you play now better.
I
That
think-
could just be a
Yeah.
cup of tea thing for me, my taste.
Yeah.
But I think you're a better just in the pocket rock
I think I'm
drummer.
closer to like a drummer's drummer now.
Yeah.
Because
Dude from far, like just hit,
Yeah,
hit
yeah.
hard, fucking solid.
yeah, like
It's fun to
the
watch.
I mean, the older I get, the more I do appreciate the the Joey Jordisons and shit. They got me started. I still think Danny Carey from Tool is one of the
he's
greatest of all time.
maniac. Top 5 for me.
But I have appreciated more the Chad Smiths and the
Right.
Chris Robbins
Right.
and the fucking who's the guy that drums for fucking everybody?
Josh Freese.
Josh Freese.
I mean, guy's insane.
I can appreciate that shit more, and I'm at a point now where I could go to a drum clinic and watch a guy do a 4/4 groove for fucking 20 minutes and love it.
Me too.
Yeah.
Whereas as a kid, I'm like, bro, there was no double kick, there was no blistering
Yeah.
blast beats. Like,
It's so funny.
it's a different appreciation. It's a matured
See, I
appreciation.
was like the other way, in a way, like me and Stefan and those dudes, we thought double kick was for fucking pussies.
Oh,
growing up.
Chris
Like,
Crummett still does.
Yeah, and I still kind of do, but
that
now
fucker roasts me all
but
the
now
time.
I've gotten
for
over it. Like,
Yeah,
I don't
yeah.
know.
so
It's
funny how
it's
that
just
works.
Funny.
Yeah, I'm over here thinking that like I'm learning like the fucking most manly shit ever.
Right.
Like just like straight lumberjack drumming
Right.
is with a double kick pedal, and Crumb is over here just like that's the
No.
wackest shit of all time.
Yeah.
You're
I know for like at least for me it's like back in the day, right? Like back to like Sandy shows. Like the band I was in was like a punk band.
Mm-hmm.
And so like what I was playing was way more influenced by like what I listened to as a kid. But like the older I got, I was like it's not really that fun. Like
Yeah.
like I just want to play music that's like fun to play and like that kind of gives me something.
Yeah.
And so like I don't know, I think just growing like as an artist, right? You're like, sure, you could probably like still nail double bass, whatever blast beats if you
Yeah.
want to do it, but it's like just learning how to do something else too is like
Yeah.
I think it makes your brain do something, you know? Like just being able to do different
totally.
things and like but enjoy them just for like what they are. I think that's really important.
Yeah, well, it's almost like it's a weird thing where in my mind I feel like I'm going backwards. Like you just went to the coolest thing, which is double kick, and now you're reverting. But then as I got older, I realized that's not. I'm really just going back and appreciating an aspect of music, and specifically with percussion, that I skipped over immediately.
Yeah.
I mean, I had a double kick pedal 3 months into playing drums.
Yeah.
So my relationship with a single kick pedal just
Doesn't
never
exist.
really existed.
Right.
Yeah.
Or if it did, it was never given that ability to flourish. And
Yeah.
so now it's fun to kind of like to dig in. And I think honestly, in a weird way, after, what has it been? I started drumming in 2001. So what is that, 18 years?
Yep.
It doesn't seem right. I the math is on, but that feels
Your
wrong.
drumming skills are out of high school, and they're no longer your responsibility.
Yeah, they're now. I feel like they're almost like there's like a silver fox now. You know,
Yeah.
they're like
Oh,
the
yeah.
CEO of some company, and
Yeah.
they're kind of like,
Your
little-
drumming skills are a young entrepreneur.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah,
fresh
yeah.
out of college.
yeah, maybe that's better because it's
Yeah.
only 18 years. I don't think I'm
or
like,
fresh into college.
yeah,
Unless drumming's like dog years. That's what
Right.
I'm
Your
saying.
drumming skills just enrolled in the business college.
yeah, yep, and they're excited about the future, and they just have a tighter grasp of reality.
They're ready
and-
to get in debt.
Yeah,
It's going to be great.
yeah, it's been a blast.
funny.
It's more fun now than ever, which is
Well, sometimes it's like it's more about what you don't do than what you
Yeah.
do anyways. Like,
Yep.
like that's another thing too. Is like a lot of the bands I had played in before. It was like how do we fill as much space
Yes.
as possible?
oh yeah,
And like my last band was a 3-piece, and so like it was that times 1,000 because it's like there always has to. That's like between bass and guitar, it's like we always have to be playing something that's like all
Yeah.
over. Like there's no room for not doing anything.
yeah,
Dude,
and-
you are speaking the truth to me right now. This is what happened for me.
yeah. And so
exactly.
like,
I just want to play shit that was fun,
Yeah.
hooky, catchy. I was in a band called the Days and Nights, and that was our like code of ethic.
yeah.
It was like dumber the better,
Yeah.
stripped down,
Yeah.
less is more.
because
It is,
when it
yeah.
sounds dumb in your head, it's coming out way different.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
it's hitting the audience as like fucking calculated, and
Yep.
it's
Yeah.
just it's open, and they're able to just
I mean, it got to the
absorb
point
it
where
more.
like we
Exactly,
Nate, the
dude.
guitar player, because I would come up with a lot of the riffs. I think I've told you how we would write.
oh yeah, you guys would like
I'm not
switch.
very good at guitar. My thing is drumming. So I would come up with the majority of like the idea for guitar riffs and give it to him, and then he'd make it way better.
Yeah.
And he would play drums while I was playing guitar. And anyway, and because of that, I wasn't very good at doing chords. And so it was always like just like blocky one
Yeah.
string note thing. And so then he would take that and make it radder. But it became like our way of writing to just, we almost never had chords.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like you would sketch, and then he would go over it with pen.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Less is more.
Yeah. Our drummer said that to me once. Like we were talking about like tempos,
Mm-hmm.
and that's a simple thing too. It's like just playing something a little faster or a little slower. And he was
Yeah.
just like, he's like, we should just give the audience more space.
Yeah,
And I was like,
yeah.
shit, dude. Like that's such a like that was the least profound sounding thing ever. But like when you really think about it, it's like, oh yeah, like if we play the song 10, 15 BPM faster live, like you really take away a ton of what the audience can
I
get
know.
out of it just by pulling it back. And so like just kind of, I mean, the
that's
music
some,
we
that's
play.
some monk shit.
Yeah.
That is like that's one of those. If you sit and think about it, it's like holy shit. You are considering the audience as like giving them space. No one ever thinks about what the audience needs.
Yeah.
It's no,
They
we know
should.
what's up. We're the professionals.
Right.
Yeah.
You sit there and listen.
Yeah.
But it's like, fuck, dude, put yourself in their position as a listener. Yeah, a little space is huge.
Yep.
It's huge.
Is there anything that we can listen to?
Sure, dude.
from the band?
Yeah.
I just want to check it out. Can you pull maybe
Absolutely.
the Instagram up?
I mean, the whole record's good. I'm trying to think if there was a standout track for me. I felt
So
like
you're working with Mike right now?
I could give you guys got Dropbox on here?
Yep.
I could let you guys listen to the B-side from our record that we didn't put out.
Yeah,
Are
whatever,
you-
whatever you
You
want.
could get something a little exclusive.
Are you able to like send it to me from your phone?
Yeah,
and
sure,
I-
dude. Or you can listen to one of the regular tracks. I don't know. Maybe my band will kill me. I don't know where my phone is.
Okay,
Oh,
well, I'll
here it
start.
is.
I'll start with a send me that, and I'll start with a regular track. We'll do a little of both.
Don't worry about rushing. I can always edit all this
Dude.
bullshit.
There's no editing allowed. If that's one thing that I've learned
This is live.
from Rogan.
Yeah.
Well, he does it live.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So
Totally.
Should I play this song
Um,
teaser? Is this a decent?
I wouldn't. Well, it's
Okay.
only a minute. If you just want a minute of the tune, then it's a good place to start.
Yeah, I
Yeah, maybe
figured-
that might be good. Yeah.
Sure, dude.
Let's do it.
Plus, I haven't seen this, so I'm just selfish.
When was this out?
This came out September 21st of last year.
This is cool.
I haven't heard her name since the day that I was born. I know she meant the world to you, but those are many years before. Until she come to you, like a siren in the night. Till she whisper in your ear and say, oh, we'll be alright.
I'm wearing those shoes right now.
Does the drummer play open-handed like that? Like he doesn't cross? Does he always go like
No,
that?
he does.
Oh, okay.
Fuck,
Cool.
that's great. That riff, that is so good. That's
Thanks, man.
catchy.
That's rad. That that reminds me a lot of the stuff I grew up listening to.
Yeah, we had
That's
Vortex premiered that one for us. It was pretty cool.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's a cool little EP, man. Like we so for this one, all that went wrong, we look at that on 9/14. What does that mean? Oh, never mind. Yeah, so for this one, like we locked ourselves out in a cabin in the woods and like we did everything ourselves.
Oh, that's so cool.
So like the bass player in our band, he's got all the recording gear, and so like we just set up mics in the middle of the room. It was at our guitar player's house. Like his parents left, and they live out in this cabin way out past Sandy.
Jeez.
And his dad's a hunter, so he's got like all these trophy heads. Like,
Whoa.
and so like the drums are just like set up in the room, and it's just like the most intimidating thing you've ever
yeah.
seen. But yeah, so that whole record we just recorded and put out ourselves, and
Jeez.
Cool.
it was a lot of fun, man. But it was only 5 songs, and so like we could handle that. But
Yeah,
How many
yeah.
songs you doing with Mike?
we tracked 13.
Cool.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, we'll probably cut it down to 10.
Yeah.
Is he going to mix it as well?
Yep.
Cool.
Yeah. Well,
Is he going to master it as well?
probably. I don't know,
That's
Mike.
the Mike
Are
way.
you gonna do it? Yeah.
My guess is he will.
Yeah.
You know, I used to manage Mike.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
He's
saw him
fine.
on your website.
I thought I talked to you at one point.
You talked to him? Yeah. Yeah. I
Did
think
we
you sent
talk?
me a Facebook message like a couple years ago.
Yeah.
You're
I'm
like,
like,
dude.
I said something about that. I was like, I remember this name.
Yeah. We have talked before for sure. Did you get that?
What?
I emailed you something.
Oh, let me check it out.
Yeah. Working with Mike's great, man.
Mike's the man.
I
love that kid.
It's been good. He's like, I mean, this isn't a commercial for Mike, but he's a really good
No, it
dude
should
to
be.
work with.
Mike is the best.
Yeah. We've been in this building. I think we did 8 days with him, and
He's
we probably
he's one
put
of the
in
fastest engineers I've ever seen.
we put in like 100 hours maybe and it was like, I mean, the last day we were here last Saturday, it's like we did like a 13 or 14 hour
He's a
day. It was
grinder.
like
Jeez.
it was.
Were you
I
guys
felt really
doing
bad
really late
for him.
nights?
We did a couple.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's Mike's way. He's a fucking
Yeah.
vampire.
Yeah. I was stoked that he was willing to suffer through it. Like Mike's our age, so
Yeah,
he's like he was down to
suffer.
burn it. Yeah, we're like, dude, let's go shotgun some energy drinks in the parking lot. He's like, yeah, dude.
Well, this is a good project for Mike because he's pretty like not pigeonholed, but he's definitely known for doing more metal.
Oh yeah,
Oh, okay.
100%,
doom
dude.
fucking metal.
Oh
metal.
yeah, and that was
So-
like actually that was one of the reasons we wanted to work with Mike because the bass player in our band is good buddies with Jared, and Jared and Mike are in a band together.
Gotcha.
And so, and so we were just like, man, we've been talking about doing this record for like a year and a half or 2 years. Like we've been like, all right, we'll do it when it's the right time to do it. Like, let's not rush into it. Like, let's just do it when it feels right. And,
right.
And like, Dan was like, oh yeah, we should talk to Mike. Like, he seems like a really cool, like, dude. And like, he does all these metal bands, but like, I think he'd be really fun to work with. We're like, yeah, let's get together with him. Like, let's send him some tracks. Like, cause one thing for me was like, I wanted to find someone who I thought wanted to do it.
Right.
Cause like, there's like, we could hire anybody.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we could pay anybody to do it, and like anybody would do it. Like, that's fine, but it's really hard to find someone who's like wants to be a part of something.
Yeah.
Mm.
And so for us, or at least for me, that was really, really important. And so I was like, hey, Mike, I know you do a ton of metal bands. I want to send you, like, we had demoed the record like a year and a half ago. I was like, I want to send you this, and I want you to listen to it, and I just want you to say like yay or nay, like if it's a thing you'd want to be a part of. And he was just like, I think he emailed me back like a day later. He's like, dude, your drummer is a savage. He's like, I want to do this. Like, this is like, your drummer hits exactly like I want to hear it, and like, this would be a lot of fun. And he said that exact thing to us. He's like, dude, I've been doing a ton of metal records. He's like, I just want to do like balls to the wall rock and roll record.
Yeah,
and,
I
like,
bet that was
make it
refreshing
loud.
for him.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah.
But like,
it is.
we've been having so
Sorry.
much fun. Like, and I think he's been super into it. So it's like, it's been a really fun.
I mean, he does a lot of metal, but he loves every kind of music.
Yeah, he kept saying shit like, he was like, dude, this is the best riff Weezer's written since 1994.
Well, I can't wait to hear it, man. It sounds like something I'm gonna.
I don't know why. I
definitely
would have
love.
had, for some reason, and I know Mike very little, but I would have had him pegged for like the opposite.
Really?
Like metal would have been weird for him, but
No.
this style would have been more.
Right.
Yeah. That's
funny.
interesting.
Well, I mean, he listens to this kind of music more, I would wager.
Yeah, right.
But
maybe
just,
that's what I was thinking. is that
Yeah.
he more, yeah.
he's just so fucking good at producing and engineering metal that
That's
he just
awesome.
got a name for himself. Yeah, and he's good at it.
That's
Yeah,
a special. It's a special skill to like produce. Like I've always. There's been a couple guys. I know when we recorded with at LISAS Studios. It wasn't with Tim Lambesis, but it was with his guy Dan Castleman. And there were a couple moments, and Crumit's done this with me too, where like they have ideas for fills,
Oh, yeah.
and like your mind is blown. You're like, dude, that's brilliant. How did I not think of that? And that's a special kind of brain. That's one that I wish I had a little more. But I think it's also there's an advantage to hearing it. Like you're not playing it, you're listening.
Yes.
And then so things are so much more obvious. Like, oh, why would you go fast fill there? You should go really big and then fast fill at the end of that chorus, or whatever.
Well, it's hard because you get so close to
Yes.
You get so close to whatever you're working on, and you get so used to hearing it one way that becomes right.
Yes.
And it's
Yeah.
like, I was just talking to one of my buddies who's like down in LA working on a new record, and they're like, I think they had like done like demos of the whole thing before they went down. They like they've been doing like a couple days of pre-production, and like he texted me today. He's like, man, we changed a lot of stuff, and I was like, really? I was like, man, that would be so hard for me because like I get so married to things, and I've never had someone really be like, let's change this, this, and this. I have it easy because I play rhythm guitar,
Yeah.
and I sing, and so like their critiques there are like, there's less places to be like, oh, totally change this 100%.
Yeah, exactly.
But like just being willing to be like, okay, well, maybe this is the way we've done it forever, but maybe it could be cooler if I could just forget about like you practice and you like it just gets drilled into your brain over like, all these like years or however long you're playing a thing before you decide to record it, and you're like, this is how it is. And then you go in and someone's like, oh, you should change that. And you're like, oh, dude, I've been hearing it like this for 2 years.
Well,
like, this is really hard.
It really is the
Yeah.
difference between. You're absolutely right. I mean, it's the difference between an engineer and a producer.
Yeah.
Those, Those are the two definitions.
Yep.
An engineer is someone who can track.
Yeah.
Right. And
Push
someone
the
who's
buttons.
running the buttons and is fast.
Mhm.
And that is a skill set in its own.
Mm-hmm.
Especially like in the hot markets like Los Angeles. I mean, there's guys who are just hired engineers, right? But
yeah.
then producing, you can
Yeah.
wear both hats. Like that's what
Yeah.
Mike does. That's what Steph does.
Yep.
He's engineering and producing.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And if you're the type of band that, has everything down, like you've been, like you said, practicing, and these are the parts. We don't need any other input. Then don't go to that kind of guy.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Right.
Oh,
I mean, it's always, it's always amazing to me when people go down that road and then they butt heads with their producer. It's like, hey man, you got to know who you're going in to work with.
Yeah, it's hard too, because like I feel like people get so attached. Like the word art carries like such a weight. You know, you're like, this is my art. Like it, like
so precious.
I created it.
Yes.
Like this is exactly how it needs to be. But it's like, at the end of the day, people have like really good input.
Yes.
Right.
You know, and
especially producers.
yeah,
For crying out loud.
And it's funny because like you can create a whole thing and you think that tweaking one little thing is like makes or breaks it. Like from your point of view, you're like, oh, if we change this, the whole thing's done. Like it's not my vision. But it's like really, it's like if someone's like, actually, this would look cool a little different color.
Yeah,
you know, it's like if you're like someone's like, hey, Alan, let's design a poster, and you're like, oh well, you know, they're like, let's do green and brown and that, and you're like, actually, purple and red right here would look really cool.
Yeah.
And this one being like, no,
Right.
this was my vision. You're like, actually,
I think
this
it's
is
important
my
just
job.
to try everything.
Yeah.
Just be open-minded.
Yeah.
It's a total dance because I've had bands give me revisions and I'm annoyed by it in the beginning, but I follow through on it, and then two things will happen. Either I will love it as they said, or I won't like it, but that revision itself opened up this idea of mine to something else, and I'm reluctant to like tell them, but in my head I'm like, that was sick. I would actually, and then I start thinking like, I almost turned this in and I was going to be happy with this if it went to print or whatever. But I am like enthralled with it now. Now it's the shit. And what's funny is that now that's done this thing to me where I just did some album artwork for a band and got an instant approval, and that filled me with fear immediately. I was like, oh, like now I kind of want feedback.
Yeah.
Now I want to hear like what, you know, if it's bad feedback, I'll tell you, but sometimes there's something I'm so close to a certain aspect of it that you'll go, okay, but does this make sense here? And I'm like, holy shit, no, it doesn't. And I wasn't even paying attention to that. And then I'll go and fix that and be like, boom, now it's perfect. And I'll have more confidence. But you have to be open to that in the beginning. And it took me a long time to get there.
I think a place too that you want to try to arrive at as an artist, as a band, especially as a band, if you're the guy writing the song, you know, you want to try to arrive at a place where you have the confidence to know that like this isn't a fluke. You can do this again.
Yeah.
You can recreate this again. And if you're good, you can just shit out fucking riffs all day. And it's like, don't be so precious about this.
That's
this idea.
true. Yeah, because you can, just like in art, I've definitely hugged things to death.
Right.
And like tried to keep it.
Yeah, sometimes you should fight for your art.
Yeah,
and,
definitely
like,
defend
there's a vision
it. But you can suffocate it right into the ground, and you can fuck it up more than the client's revisions or anything.
So the thing I love about like being a song, so like I write all the songs for a band. What I really love is like I don't ever think about what anybody else should do. You know, it's like, so my job as a songwriter is like, I'm going to sit there with like my guitar unplugged or like an acoustic guitar, and I'm going to hash out a demo, and I'm going to get the structure like pretty close, and then I'm going to go to my band who are super creative and be like, how do we do this? You know, and like just being able to take everybody's feedback and like not be like, this is my vision, like here's where we need to go, but to like trust everybody you surround yourself with enough to be like, everybody's input is really, really important, and everybody's input is going to shape this into something better than I could have done by myself. And that to me is like really, really important.
Absolutely.
And it's like, and that's one thing a lot of people are afraid of, you know, like a lot of dudes will like, they'll write everything, and they'll write the songs, and they'll write the arrangements, and they'll be like, here's the lead guitar track, like let's just do the roots for the bass line and like super simple drum beat or whatever, like this is it. This is how you guys learn how to play this now.
I could never be in a band like that unless you know you're Josh Freese and you're a hired gun.
I hate it. I mean, my favorite part about being in a band with really good musicians is then listening to what they do, because like I'm so close to it. Let's like I write a song, okay, cool, you know, I have a Bandcamp page, like a private Bandcamp page with like 30 or 40 tunes for like out, you know, it's like I just write, but like, and I don't want to just sit there and listen to myself play acoustic guitar and sing. So it's like, to me, my favorite part is getting the band together and being like super inspired by what everybody else can bring to the table. So, cause then I want to listen to it. Cause then I'm like, oh cool. Like I can forget about the fact that I'm singing or playing guitar. It's like I'm listening to what everybody else is doing, and I'm just like, holy shit, that's so cool, dude. Like when Jason was tracking drums, man, like just watching him play raw drums, like we weren't even hearing anything, but just like watching him do like some fill and just like land it and just being like, oh dude, like this is so awesome. Like
it's nice to have those unfamiliar layers.
Yeah.
It's not layers that you've heard over and over in your bedroom alone because you wrote them. It's like, fuck, dude, you just added this whole other thing. I'm hearing it differently now because I trusted you.
My thing changes because of what you did.
Yeah.
And like that can like those can complement each other so much.
That's beautiful. Yeah. And that's the way that because there's no easier way to stifle creativity than to just throw this book on the table and be like, read it word for word. Don't change a single thing. No one's going to open that with any enthusiasm.
Yeah.
They're just going to go,
boring.
Fuck, here we go.
Can you imagine if I wrote drum beats, dude? It's like, dude, I shouldn't.
No.
No one should trust me to do that.
Yeah.
And no one should trust me to go on GarageBand and like pick the pre-named drummer and then be like, oh, just play that. That's cool.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, no, dude, nobody should trust me.
Yep. No, it needs to be like ego has to be out the door.
Yeah.
Everyone's got their specialty. I think that's one of the most beautiful things about being in a band is that there's forced collaboration. Obviously, there's dictators in the history of music, and some of them have been, for lack of a better term, correct, where like their band has gone on to be pretty big.
Yeah.
But you have to ask yourself, how much fun was anybody having? How healthy was that situation? And it's crazy. I know that I've been fortunate enough to be in a crazy democratic band. Every band I've been in. Yeah. It's all been like, I'm the head of the drum department, but I'm open to suggestions. He's in charge of the guitar department, but he's open to suggestions. And we lean on each other's expertise, but we're also wide open for... I tell James all the time, my favorite song I've ever been a part of is with the band I'm in now. And it started with our vocalist, who's kind of our jack of all trades. He actually moved from Jersey to Portland to work for Truth Custom Drums.
Oh, cool.
So he fancies himself a drummer, but he can also play guitar. And none of us can sing, so he sings. Yeah. And he's really good at that. So it's this situation where he writes almost like he almost just only had a tail to a riff, but we were loving it. And then Daniel, who is like a technical, like kind of like James was saying, he could put the screws to something, like really finesse what somebody else starts. He's so proficient. He used to be in the band No Bragging Rights, and he was around here in like a band called Burning Twilight, and he's just so much experience, so sick. And he'll take it and he builds off of it. And I'm just like, I love this song and there's not even drums to it yet. And then if I ever have kind of creative block, I can ask Vinny, like, what do you want to do? And his proficiency isn't where mine is, but his ideas 9 times out of 10 are better than mine. Yeah. So I'm like, dude, that idea is the shit. I'm going to tweak this one thing and now it's perfect. Yeah. And I love that. I don't think I could have done that 10 years ago. Like 22-year-old Alan would have been like, no, bro, because that's not my part, so I can't play it now. Yeah. Right. Yep. Like, I need all the girls to know that, like, I wrote it, and if they find out that you wrote some of that, dude, they're not going to like me.
Oh, yeah. It's weird,
silly.
Dude.
It's nice growing up.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. On this record, I was like, our guitar player's, like, one of the best guitar players I've ever played with, and he's, like, super creative. He's, like, got his own stuff going on. And I was like, hey, dude, how do you feel about, like, co-writing like a couple of like, hey, I'll text him, hey, write the second verse for this tune. He like, okay. Like just out of nowhere, it's like, dude, just being able to like let other people kind of like take a little bit of creative control and just see where it goes, because you can always be like, oh, that's nope, wrong direction. But just like, he wrote this part and I was like, dude, he's like, I just tried to write it like you would write it, kind of. And like, and I was like, dude, this is awesome. Cause like, I feel like it's a thing I would sing, but it's like a little different. Like I would have never thought to have done this. And so like, sure. It's like, okay, well, if the song was ever a super big hit and we had to divide the writing, it's like, sure. But like, it's like, dude, I have no problem like singing some other dude's like verse 2, it's like it's really cool. I dig it. Like I would cover this song if it like,
and that's massive for the emotional health of the band too. Like if I could play guitar and Daniel started playing some of my parts, I would be like, fuck yeah, dude, like, he likes my shit enough. That's so cool. And it helps with the camaraderie of the band, the overall like health of it.
Our drummer wrote one of the guitar riffs on this record. It's so cool. It's like we were like we're just like, him and I were just jamming one day on acoustics and he like played. I was like, dude, that's it.
Right.
And he was like, "Oh, I don't know what I did." And like,
Yeah, right.
you know, it's like, okay, that's it. That's the part for this song.
And see, he would never do that if you were the kind of guy that when you started a song, like I said, you threw the book on the table
Yeah.
and said,
Yeah, here's the part, dude.
he would never have the mind to like, okay, well, because it wouldn't be a system. The Angry Lisas wouldn't be a system where that's allowed.
Yeah.
Right.
So instead, it's like, yeah, creativity flourishes, so you're going to be rewarded for it. Do it. Get it done. Whatever thing you fancy and you want to follow, do
Yeah.
that.
If anybody has a good idea, like, let's just roll. Like,
Yeah.
who cares?
The goal should be to make a good song.
Yeah,
Yeah.
help
No
the
matter what.
collective.
Well, egos are like, I think that's what kills a lot of that process is just people who think they know better than everybody else, you know?
Yep.
It's like, who
Yeah.
cares, man? Why do
Can
you want to be
pull
cool?
up YouTube real quick, buddy boy? I
Absolutely.
want to show you something really cool. Really, 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 really cool.
Can I run to the restroom real quick while you pull it up?
Yeah, please do. Okay. Let's do a new segment
Oh, shit.
called Weird Bands.
Called.
Nice.
This first band is called Winnie Pooh. I'd seen them before
Yeah.
on the dark internet. They're really weird. Maybe just type, what would be the best? Start with Winnie the Pooh, the weirdest band in the world. They're Estonian,
Oh,
Oh,
sweet.
nice.
which is a place, Estonia, technically. All right, Winnie Pooh,
Winnie Pooh.
Estonia.
Winnie Pooh.
Oh, good.
Look how they're dressed.
I wasn't sure if it was going to be weird or fucking insane.
Oh, dude. Is this...
All right, James, you are setting the bar way too high for weird bands.
Oh, is this Across the Sun?
It might as well be.
Alan, go ahead and try to describe to the audience what they're wearing. And
I
just
don't
what you're
know.
seeing.
Oh, dude, those
What
are
are you
wrestling
seeing?
singlets.
Yeah, they're like wrestling
Yeah, so they got
tights.
wrestling.
They just
singlet.
stopped wrestling.
Is the drummer on a spinning platform that's...
Yes.
Sideways?
Okay, it's just sideways. I thought it was upside down.
Either way, it's terrible. Singer has like fur on his face.
I want to see somebody run down the catwalk.
They all kind of look like Wolf Boy.
Yeah.
Oh, they're upside down now.
And it's always like this. Every song.
Oh, dude, look at his head-mounted microphone.
Yeah, I think there's two of them.
It's just taped on his head.
I'm going to bring up your first act now.
Oh, yeah.
And I believe it was
We just go to a Mitch Hedberg. Fucking.
Mitch Hedberg, weirdest band ever.
There you go. There's Winnie Pooh.
Dude, I love it. Are they still around?
Yeah, they're like really big in Europe.
Do they tour with Baby Metal? I wish I had enough confidence to wear that live.
I know.
Here's another one. Have you guys ever heard of Captured by Robots?
No.
He plays Portland all the time. We used to go to his shows all the time, like my early 20s. He's a dude that used to work for Disneyland. You do like the animatronics at Disneyland.
Oh, right.
I'm already into it.
So he knows how to make robots. So he made a band of robots.
That's
so it's
pretty
him
awesome.
and like 5 different robots.
Is it like something
to
you would have
play.
seen at Chuck E. Cheese?
Exactly.
Like,
Exactly.
okay.
Okay, so
So check this shit
world's
out.
loneliest musician. Here we go.
I don't know if this is a good video, but we'll find the right one. And he's fucking hilarious too.
Oh, yeah, dude.
Yeah, dude, it's so fucking fun
Oh,
too.
I'm pretty sure I've seen this. Doesn't that drummer like blast?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Does he have to pay that band?
Maybe.
He does really well too. He
If they
tours all the
become
time.
sentient and all of a sudden they want some money.
Like really eccentric. See how he's entering?
Oh, yeah, he's entering
He's a weirdo, man.
super elaborately.
I love theatrics.
I do too.
We Are All Fucked is his banner.
I could not argue with that. All right.
Yeah.
So far, I'm sold.
Let's go ahead and fast forward a bit here.
Absolutely.
That's not the one.
Oh, yeah.
This is the one.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, look at that.
Oh my god.
This is awesome.
So this one only has technically 2 robots, it looks like, right?
Yeah.
I've seen one where there's like 15 fucking robots on stage. They play trumpets and shit.
Yeah, the fucking kick drum's on the other side.
Yeah, because it doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter, dude.
All right.
Yeah.
It's wherever you can do it.
This is brilliant. So for anybody listening, Captured by Robots.
Captured by Robots.
Name of the band. You got to check this out. I'm gonna deep dive this tomorrow
Isn't that amazing?
while I'm at work. Do
Yeah,
it
I
on
know what
work
I'm going to
hours
do for
sure.
8 hours tomorrow.
Yeah.
Type in The Residents. That was another band I had written down. I don't remember their vibe, but I wrote them down for a reason, I would imagine. Residents with TS.
I gotcha.
Yeah.
1 minute movies. I think it auto-corrected. Yeah. there
Yeah.
we go.
Okay, do like 1 minute. Yeah, try that one.
1 minute movies. It almost has a
Yeah.
million views.
Go ahead and fast forward a bit, like we do. Just keep it going to the fast forward. Okay. Keep going, maybe. I remember there being people with eyeballs.
Oh, yeah.
Do this and then live. The Residents band live. That might. Yeah, live. There you go. Yeah. Yeah. Dude, there's. People are weird, man.
Dude.
I mean, for people at home, they're all wearing like giant eyeballs
I love it.
on their head.
See, this is what the city of Portland should do this with the homeless.
Yeah.
Just give them
Just
a guitar. Yeah, go start a band, dude.
Yeah, go start a band. Okay, I think we get the idea, right, guys?
Yeah.
Okay, I think we're good.
I'm super into it.
Since our
I'd go see it.
When life gives you mental illness, man,
Yeah,
make
we're
some
start a band.
lemonade.
So our band for this new record, we're doing this thing with eyeballs.
Yep.
It's the craziest thing.
our guest Sean mentioned one of the bands I had written down was Baby Metal.
Yes.
Mm.
Any excuse to listen to Baby Metal, dude.
Dude,
I'm in.
any excuse to listen to Baby
Sean,
Metal.
you want to go and explain to the audience what Baby Metal is?
It's the greatest band ever.
And how would you visually explain this band?
Where are they Korean or are they Japanese?
Maybe Japanese. I'm not sure. Either
They're
or.
They're I don't even know how to explain Baby Metal.
It's
like
like-
three
It's
three
sister-
chicks.
They're
Yeah.
sisters. At least 2 of them
Are
are
they?
sisters.
Okay.
I don't know if all 3 are.
And they're like they wear these crazy
But they're not the
get-ups.
ones playing. They're dancing.
No.
and
It's
singing.
like
They have a sick, like, Japanese metal
it's like
band
Japanese.
behind them.
Right,
Yeah, it's
like
like
a
a heavy
legitimate
metal band
with
with
sugar
like
behind them.
like 3.
And they just
like-
go full, like, kind of K-pop over the top.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes, that's the word.
That's
with,
the word, dude. But I
yep.
think is it J-pop?
Or maybe it's
I don't
Might be
know.
J-pop,
J-pop. Yeah,
I
that's a
don't
good
know.
point.
I don't know anything about culture. Don't roast me.
I could listen to this song every fucking day. So good.
so crazy. And they're so adorable.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
for anybody listening, name of the song is Gimme Chocolate. The band is Baby Metal. YouTube that shit.
Okay.
And those are sick dance moves.
I mean, look at the size of the venue they're playing.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah. They don't fuck around.
Baby Metal has toured with like everybody
Yeah.
too.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, it's so catchy. I don't even know what they're saying.
Doesn't matter.
All right, so I got a pitch for you guys. We start a Baby Metal cover band.
There
Dude.
you go.
So I was just talking to somebody who was like trying to shoot the Baby Metal show when they came to town, and they have like all these crazy rules about like you can only get pictures with all 3 girls at a time. Like you're not allowed to like take individual
That makes
shots
sense.
of anybody. Yeah. I would love to see Baby Metal.
Me too. So
we could be Baby Metal.
I'm gonna.
I think I could get those outfits for us three.
That would be so.
If
horrific.
y'all think,
I have the same legs as one of them, so I could fucking
I'm
kill
pretty
it.
much the same body.
Unfortunately,
It's just
I
so
don't.
I'm gonna look up tour dates right now.
I've been looking up the Ghost tour dates.
I love Ghost.
I would love to see Ghost live.
Ghost is
I saw
one
them
of-
last time they were here.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was
Man,
great.
just the stage show alone
So
is like
crazy.
so cool. And the guy who does all their artwork like helps with all the.
I worked one of their shows at the Crystal.
Really?
Yeah, they're
At the Crystal?
yeah. I used to
Whew.
work there.
I think
They're
they're doing
rad.
like I don't think they're doing anything but arenas now. That would have been
Yeah.
awesome.
Exactly. Dude, they're so good. Like the new stuff is so fucking fun.
Looks like we're going to Tokyo, boys.
Oh my god, it's like
Just
super
festivals.
dancey.
That's
What's
the
that new
bummer with
song?
bands like this is they get so huge that it becomes all their tour dates are festival dates.
Mhm.
It just kind of makes the most sense because they could get $250K a pop.
Yep.
So they're like,
Mhm.
yeah, I'm just doing that.
Yep.
What's the song Ghost just put out? It's like really like disco-y dance.
Was it on their last album?
Dance Macabre.
Oh yeah.
okay.
So
They
fucking
got
fun.
they got nominated for a Grammy for that record,
Mhm.
Yep.
which is crazy.
I know. They're so
That
funny
gives me
too.
hope
The
in,
sense
like,
of humor
rock
in
and
that
roll
band.
music.
Yeah,
But I guess I don't know if I'd call them. They're a rock and roll.
I
band.
would, yeah.
They're not
Dude,
a metal band.
what's
I don't like
really.
everything
crazier-
they do.
They're like heavy.
What
they're
is
not even
crazier
heavy
than
rock, though.
I used to think they were heavy.
Yeah,
like, 'cause
yeah.
you would, right?
Yeah, but they're not.
Like, dude, they're poppy.
They're
as
like
shit.
a pop.
Yeah.
They're like pop rock. Like I
Totally
mean,
pop.
like,
Yeah, like
but it's just
melodic.
like, but with a crank.
Yep.
Well, in terms of like
Satan.
having hope, what is nuttier than High on Fire winning the Grammy for
I
best
know.
metal performance?
Crazy.
That is fucking nuts.
Yeah. They're a cool band.
They're great. It's just you don't expect like a legacy act like that to
I know.
to win anything, especially up against Under Oath.
And they're like an
Like-
underground legacy band.
Yes, yeah.
I mean, relatively. I mean, we know who they are, but the average person wouldn't.
yeah,
at
if you
all.
told me to rank like the likelihood of wins, they
Yeah.
would have been last.
Near the bottom.
Yeah, very bottom.
Another weird band, I actually don't really listen to them all that often, but I worked one of their shows, so I got their poster here on the wall. You ever heard of Boredoms from Japan?
I haven't, but
They're
I dig
fun
the
as fuck.
poster.
Let me see if I can find a cool video. They're weird as shit.
I feel like Japanese bands are coming out on top today.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yeah.
Have either of you been to Japan?
No, it's at
Did
the
it-
top of my list.
You never went there playing music or anything?
Nope.
Was there a demand for it? Y'all were signed to a label.
Yeah.
Did they ever talk about sending you to?
They didn't, honestly.
Really?
They had like a 5-year plan for us.
Yeah.
They sort of, I remember somebody at the label telling us they wanted us to kind of slide into that As I Lay Dying role.
So the best way to explain this is they have like, what is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, at least 5, maybe 6 drummers. And then the leader of the band, they're a Japanese group. The leader guy
Look at that
will
guitar.
stand in the middle. He's the guy with the hood on. And he's like very Mike Patton-esque, like really eccentric, and does crazy shit with his voice.
Dude, that
and
is
like how many guitars
So they
there
have 3 guitar players and the 7 guitars
7
mounted
guitars
on a
that
thing.
he will like hit with a drumstick and like a bow and shit.
Lord.
And look how many drummers there are. And he'll like orchestrate the whole thing. So like do these big swells with his hands and then drop it down and everyone will stop at the same time. Me
Venues
and
probably
North-
love booking these guys.
Oh my god, they played at the Crystal. That's why I heard about him, and they fucking melted the walls off in like the weirdest way, not like
Yeah.
a metal way. Everyone basically just stands there and just goes, what am I watching?
It's like poor man's orchestra.
It's very strange. I wouldn't even say I necessarily like it. It's just,
So they've
I
got
just-
like
I'm glad
8
it-
guitar
it
players on
exists.
stage,
yeah, something like that.
at least. They got 4 on that side.
It's like if a dude just walked into a Guitar Center and just put his hands up and everybody
Everyone
listened.
listens. It's just chaos.
It's like there's some dudes like
3 dudes in the drum
playing
department.
Guns N' Roses in the background, and it actually does kind of sound like Guitar Center.
Jesus Christ.
And it's silly, but it gets crazier because they start.
Is she wearing a hospital gown? The drummer on the left?
Yeah, it's like an open.
It's called
dress.
Fashion, Alan.
I guess.
You ever heard of it?
Never.
like the middle of the set. Let's see what happens. Okay, just a lot of sound.
Full guitar center.
Yep.
Full guitar center.
Were they supposed to stop?
I don't know, really. Sometimes he just makes motions and they don't stop.
What would you do?
If you went like this, I'm stopping.
Look at the big staff thing he's holding. And he's hitting the guitars.
Every time he hits it, I hear a dude yell. Is that part of the...
I mean, it's pretty much just noise.
I'm surprised they're packing rooms, dude.
Packing rooms, yeah.
Packing.
They've been around since like the early 90s. They used to tour with Nirvana.
Really?
Yeah. You can look up like 92 boardings with Nirvana. Kurt Cobain used to love this band. They were more like punk rock back in the day, I think.
Gotcha. I was going to say,
Anyway,
I probably need to be a little more stoned to like
right,
really
sure.
like... But
Yeah, it's like
you know, if I was a
15
little
minutes
stoned
and
and
you're
I went to a boredom show, I think I'd be like, oh my god, dude, I'm ascending.
Without weed, it just sounds like somebody's throwing instruments down some stairs.
Totally.
But with
Like, someone turn off that amp.
But with weed, it's probably
sounds like a dude like left his delay pedal on.
Yeah.
I just love that, like, I mean, this is obviously the extreme, but I do love that there are digestible, weird, eccentric bands out there.
Oh yeah.
The fact that System of a Down became a Reno rock band that was touring the world and became multimillionaires is just amazing.
Dude,
It's true.
It's so rad.
When you look at some of the
Like polka metal. Like, what is
Toxicity
happening?
is like that is on my rotation. Like
Yeah.
I listen to that
Legendary
album
record.
like once a week,
It's
probably.
genuinely good, but it's
Dude.
also really weird.
Yeah.
I
Really,
had
really
one of the
weird.
best like little chunks of time ever where I don't know if you guys heard about it, but there was a tour announced. It was Korn is going to be headlining, and then it's like Alice in Chains, and weirdly enough, Under Oath is going to be on it.
Oh wow,
and,
cool.
And then a
Good for
couple
them.
other bands. And I got asked to do merch for the tour for Korn, and then as I'm working on stuff for them, I'm like, I need some tunes to listen to, and I was like, why don't I just fucking listen to Korn? I haven't listened to Korn in forever, and they were a big band for me.
It's another good example of a weird band.
So I listened to Issues, and like I used to love that album, but now I'm listening to it with 15 years more like experience, like as a
Yeah.
human, but also as a musician,
Yeah.
and just appreciating. There were a couple songs
Yeah.
I hated as a kid, and now I love them.
I know.
It's like
Yeah.
track
I
4 or
know.
5 is "Make Me Bad," and that chorus is so weird but so good.
I know.
Yeah.
It's
Like Jonathan Davis has
horror
the
music.
shittiest great voice ever.
Right.
It's so bizarre.
I mean, they created like a sound. There's no bands
Yeah,
doing
yeah.
that shit.
I know.
Well, it's like
Bleep.
albums are kind of like movies, you know? It's like
Yeah.
it's like Disney is a great example. It's right. It's like Disney can target a movie to kids and adults.
I just got back from Disneyland.
Yeah.
I'm crazy about it.
And so it's like you can sell a movie that has like plot points for
Yeah,
children and
right.
adults.
Right,
And so
like
it's like
WALL-E. Have you
everybody
seen WALL-E?
Yeah. So everybody gets something
Fucking
different out of
amazing.
it. And so like having an album like that where it's like you can listen to it as like a kid and like one thing like really strikes a chord, really
Mm-hmm.
resonates with you. And then to be able to go back like 10 years later and revisit a record and be like, "Oh, dude, like I'm hearing something like that was way beyond my grasp before,
Right.
but it's like
Beautiful.
but it's really really cool."
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I think those are the standout albums, right? The ones you can go back and like you can experience them differently.
Yes.
And like without even meaning to, but it's like there's just something there. There's something so magic about like great records. It's like, dude,
Yeah, I mean, when I was listening to self-titled Slipknot or LD50 by Mudvayne or Issues by Korn, I'm at that point. It was before I was in a band. I couldn't even listen for bass guitar on
Yeah.
a mix. I didn't know how to hear
Yeah.
that. I didn't. I wasn't even playing drums yet, so I didn't know what was a floor tom and what was a kick drum.
Yeah.
And what the difference between a hi-hat and a ride cymbal was. So now I have all that experience, and I'm able to. It's like I can speak the language a little more now.
Yeah.
So now I can understand the book.
Yeah.
It was just such a wild. I really tripped out about it.
You guys know who the Locusts are?
Yeah.
That's another.
I was shocked
Crazy
when
band.
I think it was last podcast you said you liked them. I was shocked.
I mean, I don't know if you really can like them. I appreciate that they exist.
Yeah.
And they were really fun to see live. Like
Yeah.
the drummer doesn't ever count off, you know.
Right.
He'll just hit the snare. He'll go like, everyone just silent, they'll stare at the drum and tick, and then they go.
How much
or
of
just
that?
tick, tick, tick.
I've encountered
chaos.
so many either players like that or heard from people that bigger bands are like that. As musicians, what are your guys' opinions of how much of that comes from like this kind of insecurity of learning to play to a click and all that. That's so intimidating. I'm never gonna do it. So I'm gonna put this veil of I do whatever the fuck I want. And like the most punk rock thing ever is just to not count off. And how much of it do you think is this kind of like?
Just to be fair,
cover?
that drummer doesn't fall in that category.
Okay,
he's legit.
He does
like
other
a
shit and he's
studio
dope.
Drummer. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. It's just that band that he just lets the wheels off.
So that's like that's probably like a creative choice.
Yeah, he's plays. There's another hardcore band called Head Wound City.
Okay,
a rad name, and it's two guys from the Blood Brothers, the drummer and bass player from the Locust, and that bass player Justin. He's in a band. What's their name? Another hardcore band. Can't think of it right now. Really popular band. Jesus Christ. Oh, and then the guitar player from the Yeah Yeah Yeahs.
Oh, okay.
Nick something or other. But yeah, saying he's like super solid and dope in that.
That's awesome.
Yeah. The Locust is like they're like purposefully annoying and they're just fucking getting in your, they're dressing up as bugs.
Right. Yeah.
They play like 25-second songs. Like,
yeah.
Yeah. They're the guy, the leader of the band, the guy that started the band, his name was Justin. He was on Jerry Springer in the 90s as like a prank.
That's right.
The late 90s.
I actually remember that.
Yeah, they're crazy people. Like they purposely were just like Fight Club mentality. Like we're purposely pushing people on, just to fucking piss people off. Like real punk rock.
One of the guys at Rise, one of his dreams was to be on Judge Judy. He's obsessed with Judge Judy.
Dude, Judge Judy's awesome.
She's dope, fucking amazing, dude. And he made it happen. And he just sent me pictures.
Really?
I think he went in like June. So the episode.
He went to see it.
He was there in the back. Yeah.
In the audience.
Did he meet Judy herself?
He did. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Did she do like meet and greet?
She did. Yeah. It was expensive.
What a sweet gal, dude.
It was fucking expensive.
If I went to go see Judge Judy and I couldn't say like, sign my baby,
right,
I'd be super upset.
Yeah, and it was funny too. I felt bad because you guys are familiar.
She makes so much money.
Oh, dude, 90 million.
She makes more than she's like the richest TV person ever.
She was murdering it with 45 mil, and then she was like, "Hey, I think I'm done," and they were like, oh, "You can't be done," and she was like, "I mean, if
you're
you guys,
a cash cow, Judy.
Yeah, like you could double my pay," and they're like, "Yeah, sure." No brainer. She's like, "Okay, so 90 million for another season," and they go, "Yeah,
it's 90 million a season."
Right? Yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah. So.
How many episodes is a season?
I want to say
like they're short, probably, right?
Yeah, it's like 20 plus. I think it's like between 20 and 30 maybe.
Really? But they're like 15 minutes, 20 minutes, 30 minutes?
I think each case can be around 10, 15. But I guess from what he was telling me when he was there, he got to see they basically she only works one day a week and they just crank out
the whole
like a 16-hour day, just get them all done.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Sign me up, dude.
Yep. And then she just spends the other 6 days of the week figuring out what she's going to spend 90 million on.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know how I'd spend that kind of money. I think about that a lot.
Christ.
I'm like, dude, if I won the lottery,
I know.
Because there's no other way I'm getting that rich.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, man, if I won the lottery, what would I do?
Yeah.
I was like, I don't even think I could
Well, it ruins
do it.
people's lives.
Yeah. I would. You know what I'd do? I'd buy like a shitty cabin in the woods and I'd like turn it into a studio and then I'd just like sit on my porch and drink coffee all day.
I think that's the
what
move.
I say.
You got to what you have to do is not change who you are in your spending. You got to go what are the things that even though I got 90 million,
it's hard.
What would I buy if I had 20,000?
Yeah.
And then you just go hard on that. Like, studio's a no-brainer. I would do all the dumb shit. Pay off my house.
Yep.
I'd have to get I'd pay off my vehicle, but I'd have to get something dope. I'd get it like a Tesla, some ridiculous thing I don't need.
Dude, the new Tesla's only $35,000.
Oh, I thought if you got it like fully spec'd out, it was like $75K.
Maybe if you get it fully spec'd, I don't know.
What if I get 100 of them? I'll just get 100 of them.
Like the Tesla Model
Hand them
3,
out to
dude.
homeless people.
They're like they dropped them like this year. It's like $35K.
Oh Jesus!
You're gonna see so many.
I want whatever Joe Rogan's got. He was talking about
Does he have
it.
a Tesla?
That's not the 35.
He didn't pay for it.
No, probably not.
Elon Musk came on with a Tesla and a flamethrower and was like, "Here you go, dude."
So good, dude. Oh my god.
Want to go to space?
It is funny though. Like you're right. Like what would you do with that amount of money? I mean,
buy an Airstream.
Think of the amount of money you make now.
Yeah.
Okay? We all know what that is.
Yeah.
And then
it's only 89 million now, but
yeah, but 90, dude.
Yeah,
game changer.
But 90, it's over. Then I'm like balling.
But I mean, you think if like you were making, significantly less than 90 million a year, you were making $500,000 a year. which is a lot of money.
A lot more money than I make right now.
Me too.
Yeah.
And think of what you could do with that kind of money.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh yeah.
Life changing.
Well, it's like
I mean,
I think like right now, like
blows my mind.
if I could make the same amount of money I make right now and work like 2 days a week,
Yeah.
like that would be enough.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Like that would be enough to at least just like enjoy
Yeah.
I know.
the things.
Pretty much
you know?
have everything I need.
Yeah,
and-
yeah,
and-
exactly. It's like, do you have what you need?
Yeah.
Can you eat?
Right.
Can you like? Do you have shelter?
Go
like
go
at least
see movies
and
every
a lot
once
of people,
in a while.
yeah.
And like,
And
yeah.
everybody's different. Like everybody has a different thing that they want, right?
Yeah.
But it's like,
I wish I could afford to travel more.
yeah,
That's what I would do if I had
Yeah,
more
it's like
money.
if you had more money, you would just like it's just the freedom. It's like, but
That's
you don't.
all it is.
But it's not the freedom to like buy a Ferrari. I mean,
Yeah.
maybe if that's your thing, sure,
Right,
dude.
right.
Like whatever. But it's like,
I want enough money to not worry about money ever.
yeah. You're like, I want enough money that I could just be like, dude, I've
I
never
heard
been here.
Christina Pazitsky
That sounds
talk about
fun.
That.
Yeah.
You know, like she was just admitting, like we finally arrived at the place where she wasn't bragging. She was just saying, you know, we've been poor our whole fucking lives, and now we're at that place where like we get a check at a dinner or whatever, and we don't really look at the amount.
Yeah.
We just kind of
Yeah.
get out the card and
Yeah.
pay.
I do
And
wonder
that's
if
nice.
I do wonder for me specifically if my fear of money is what propels my success though.
I know. I see. You're right though.
That's my only thing.
That is a huge
That's
thing.
a thing that's like that's pushed me a long ways. At least with being a
Yes.
musician.
Do you guys know any
Because-
like trust fund kids?
No,
Because I do.
I don't know anybody with money, dude. Like
I
like
know a couple,
like
I know
yeah.
a couple.
Like,
and are they
my-
fuck ups?
Yeah, they're worthless.
they're
like
the worst.
my family, like we're fine. You know, it's like they were fine. Like I had a good life. But
Yeah,
it's like
sure.
we're not balling.
Right,
you know,
right,
and it's
yeah.
like and I don't really know anybody who is balling.
Yeah.
And so it's like so I've had like a super humble like upbringing, right? Where it's like we have enough to just do the things that like we want or need to do, but like we're not buying a Tesla. It's like,
Yeah.
you know, it's like we don't have the like extra money to do that kind of stuff, but we have enough to like we have an okay life.
Yeah.
And so like
Yeah.
I'm that kind of person now where it's like I don't want like I just want what I want enough. Like
Yeah.
that's good. And so like for me as a musician, it's like before so like man, I went back to school like 4, 5, 6 years ago because I was doing the same thing, man. Like right out of high school, I was like, I just want to play music. Like I'm gonna be a musician. Like I'm gonna pay my rent. Like, and it doesn't work like that, you know. For the majority of people, some people
Yeah.
win the lottery, most people don't. And so for me, I was like, okay, I need to go back to school. Like I need to go do a thing that I can make money so that I can afford to like pay the bill at dinner
Yeah.
and not be worried about it. So I can afford to like go into the studio for 8 days with my band and not be like, if we don't make this back, we can't eat. You know, it's like, it's just enough that like you can do the things that you like are passionate about and not like be so afraid, you know? And so that's what I'm driven by is I'm just driven by enough. Like
Yeah.
I'm driven by like, how can I make it possible? But I don't need more than this, you know?
I had the same upbringing, and what it did was it caused my view of money. I look at it as a utility, and I think that a lot of people will see it as this vanity purchaser. Like I need $500K a year so that I can kind of keep up with the Joneses. For me, my bank account is it's a toolbox.
Yeah.
And if it's only got 10K in it, that's like a toolbox with half the ratchets that I need and maybe a Phillips screwdriver, but not a flathead.
Yeah.
That's going to make my life difficult in some areas.
Absolutely.
But like 20K in my checking. Now I've got the Phillips, but I still don't have half the ratchets. So, okay, let me get like 30, 40, 50. And I just want to get to a point where my toolbox is full. And if a family member has some sort of an injury and can't pay a medical bill, boom, here you go. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
You know, or myself, or when I have children, I'm not like, fuck, diapers are expensive, man.
Yeah.
Like, wrap a fucking dishcloth around his ass. I can't afford this shit. I want to be like, here you go. Don't even need to think about it.
Yeah.
Because for me, it's not the more money you have, the less stress you have, but I believe because there's diminishing returns, and they've done studies where they say at this point anything over 80K a year, there's diminishing returns.
Yeah.
You don't get more happiness for every 10K on top of that you make, and I fully believe that because you can stress too much about. There are millionaires out there that are stressing
So
about
miserable,
that money going away.
Yeah.
Or that cash flow ending.
Yeah.
And now you're a fucking millionaire and you're worried about money.
Yeah.
And to guys like us, that's like, what?
Yeah.
Just levels, right?
But to them, they're like, you don't understand. I used to be poor, and without this money, I got to go back to that, and that scares the
I think
shit
about
out
all
of me.
the time. Like think about like people who are like stuck in like war or Syria or shitty parts of
Yeah.
Africa or whatever, like you're not worried about like the relationship with you and your girlfriend. You're worried
Yeah.
about getting food today.
Yeah,
Mhm.
and living.
Clean water and not getting your
Yeah.
head cut off.
Yeah, yeah.
And it just, there's levels, you know,
Well,
and
it's
then
like-
you get past that and then you're worried about keeping your lights on.
Yeah.
Yep.
You know, people in Compton have a different
Yeah.
scenario than
Well, it's
we
like
do.
Yeah.
our
It's-
level of normal is so far above the majority of the
Oh
world.
my
anyways.
God.
It's like
Dude,
I feel
I
so
know.
like I feel sick when I'm like
I
upset about
know.
something I don't have.
I live in a
sometimes.
castle.
Yeah, yeah.
I live in a castle.
I was like, literally,
comparatively.
dude, I was watching this Netflix show that was like weirdest houses or whatever.
Right.
And they showed this dude in the middle of nowhere who lived with like 8 or 9 family members in like this tiny little hut. And I was like, man, I was
I
like,
know.
I have my own room. Like
I was watching
and-
some things about slums in India.
Yeah.
Like Mumbai. And it's fucking brutal.
Yeah.
No
And you're
running
just-
water.
Yeah. We literally won the lottery already.
Right.
So it's like how like
Yeah, like a family of 10 would live in this.
Well, and then
Yeah.
you could take that further and say
Crazy.
we won the lottery. I mean, even some of these people living in slums in India technically won the lottery in terms of like being on Earth too.
know.
If
Yeah.
You think about like
Oh, yeah.
they say it's like 1 in 4 billion to even
be a human.
to even make it to the egg.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah, yeah.
from there it like
know.
so it's like exponentially insane. But I was driving to work the other day and I'm like, I'm almost like a trust fund kid sometimes because I'm like, dude, it's 10 a.m. and I only got 8 hours of sleep last night. It's bullshit. Like, and I'm driving down Gleason. I drive past the Fred Meyer near my house, and there is no shit. A homeless guy in a tank top and shorts.
Ew.
He looks hung over as fuck, hating life, and he's freezing to death.
Yeah.
And I'm in my like warm ass 2018 vehicle.
Yeah.
And I'm mad that I only got 8 hours of sleep.
Yes.
Oh
I know.
yeah.
And
I-
it's just
I
it's
had
the
that
most
moment.
it's the
Man,
most humbling shit.
I went to bed at 11.
Yeah.
Oh.
And I got to drive to my job where I make pictures and put them on T-shirts.
Dude, I
for
was
bank.
complaining
Yeah.
that I didn't get enough
Yeah, dude.
sleep on our way to Disneyland.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm
Yeah.
so tired. I still have a cold.
It's like
And my wife's like, hey, I'm sorry you don't feel good, but look at me. It's like, yeah,
We're going
it's
to
like,
Disneyland,
We're
dude.
going to Disneyland right now.
Yes. Yeah.
For sure.
it's like some
relax.
people never go to Disneyland their whole life.
Ever.
Yeah.
And
I
you're
know.
bummed because you're tired.
I know.
Dude, As
soon as she said, I
think
was like,
about
oh
that
my
stuff
God, okay, you're
all
right.
the time, dude. It's
I
like
surrender.
yeah, it's ridiculous, man. And it's funny like how caught up in like the dumb shit we get too. It's like
I know. Perspective's everything.
I know,
right?
man.
It's huge
and
for
and
me.
it's really but it's hard sometimes because it's like
because it is
we
your
go
reality.
about our day and it's like, you know, this is our life and it's like
Yeah.
our life is pretty good, but like
It's what you know,
we
though.
are below some people that
Yeah.
are around us, so it's easy to be like, oh well, look at them way up in their high castle, you know,
Yeah.
like we're way down here. But it's like, dude,
what do they call that?
We're
where,
already
like,
halfway
humans
up.
just you like settle back out to, like if you're wanting that job or that raise or you're looking at a benchmark for the band, you hit these benchmarks and you think that that's the place that you're going to arrive at, and then once you get there, it goes back to zero.
Yeah,
We
yeah,
always
it's like
do
your
that.
new
I forget what that's
baseline.
called. Yeah, it's
Right.
you go
Yeah,
back
yeah,
to your
I know what
baseline.
you're. Yeah.
And it always happens.
Well, I think and it's a symptom.
We've
of,
talked about this before.
Yeah, when I drove by that dude, I took that as, you know, because first I had like 30 to 60 seconds of feeling like a legit piece of shit. But then I went, you know what? All this is the universe firing off a warning shot that you have not been filling your gratitude meter. It's been all about
Right.
like getting work done, catching up on emails, making money, whatever. So just make today about even little shit like going into the office and like complimenting
I know.
something somebody's wearing or like thanking
Yeah.
somebody for something. And then what happens is you can sort of offset that shittiness because I think
Yeah.
that entitlement will start to pop up when gratitude falls low enough.
Yeah.
And you can start to be mad about only getting 8 hours of sleep because that entitlement is telling you should get more, you get this, and this is your life and all you. And then you see somebody else and you're like, oh fuck, okay.
Entitlement. Yeah.
I got to bring that shit down a
That's
little
what
bit.
it is.
Yeah,
You're right.
100%. And it's intoxicating because
Ugh.
to get anything done, you've got to be in it. But then what happens is if you're in that shit for too long, it does start to warp your mind. And life is all about balance.
Where do you think
Yeah.
it comes from? Like, why do we establish an entitlement for so many things?
I don't
'Cause
know.
I do it all the time.
I think it's just
Like,
a part
I
of the rat
deserve
race
this.
of the,
Well, it's like everybody is so the center of their own universe,
Yeah.
right? Because so it's like in your mind,
It's tough.
you're way cooler than me and Alan. In
Yeah,
Alan's
yeah.
mind, he's way cooler than me and you.
Yeah.
You know, and it's like,
Yeah.
that's just how it goes. Because it's like, you live your life and you have been the center of your world for 30, however many years,
Yeah.
you know? And it's like everything has revolved around you.
yeah.
really.
It's always
I mean-
through the James filter. or
Yeah,
the Sean
yeah,
filter.
exactly. And so
Yeah.
it's like, it's really hard sometimes to like, just try to like pull yourself out a little
Yeah.
bit and be like, okay, well,
Dude, one thing
We're all on the same
I've been
level,
really
like,
thinking about, especially lately, you know, I'm just getting over being probably the sickest I've been in years.
Yeah.
And I hadn't had a cold in like almost 3 years. And when you're in that, like, I just have a fucking terrible cold or flu, from me, I kind of get anxious, and I start thinking about, like, I just start daydreaming about the time where I'm not sick. And I really start to appreciate health.
Right.
And being healthy.
I do that.
And it's just kind of like all snowballed for me, because I think I mentioned this a while ago. A family friend of ours, a guy that used to work with my dad, he passed away. He was like 50. He found out he had cancer in August.
Oh, man.
And then he just died right after Christmas. And it's just like that. He had a tumor in his brain. He just went downhill super quick. And it's just like, that's just so everything, man.
Yeah.
Just being healthy. Just that alone makes you above so many people.
Yes.
Just like,
right?
dude, some days I have a headache and I'm like,
I
oh my
know.
God, I wish I was normal again.
Yeah.
You know,
I
it's
know,
like, it's
that's what
so
I'm saying,
crippling
dude.
that you're like, man, if I didn't have a headache, I would
an ear
appreciate
infection right
everything
Sean.
now.
It's been fucking my life up. Like, it's just now getting better, but like I couldn't hear.
Yeah.
Every time, like if I was straight up like this, it was all closed off like you are on a plane.
Yeah.
And then I would tilt my head forward. It would kind of open up. But it's like just maddening because you have to move your head as a person.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And then it's hard not to have that movie fantasy moment of you like frolicking through a field without a sore throat.
I
Yeah.
know.
And you're like, fuck, those were the days.
You start looking at other people just
You're
like bipping, bopping
yeah,
around
you're like,
town.
man, if I didn't have an ear infection, I could go on a jog like
Yeah.
you would
I'd be
anyways.
successful.
Yeah.
I know, exactly.
Yeah.
I'd be hitting the gym right now.
Yeah,
No, you
I'd be
wouldn't,
ripped,
you
dude. If
fat
I didn't,
fuck.
if I didn't have an ear infection, my six pack would be back by
Yeah.
now, dude.
I'd be
But-
volunteering at a women's shelter like
Yeah,
that.
but I can't, dude. I can't. And then you get better, and you're just like, oh, I could play PlayStation now.
Yeah, exactly.
Let's move on to some other stuff and try to wrap this thing up. We've been going for a while.
Yeah, we can news it up.
News it up, movie
Shotgun
pick it
some
up.
beers. What's up?
Let's do the movie pick actually quick and get that out of the way,
Okay.
and then we'll do the current events. Let me send you something real quick here, Alan Ashcraft.
While you're sending it, should we watch this message from Alex Trebek?
Do it, man.
Oh man, this made me so sad.
Oh,
dude.
well, no.
What happened to the TV?
I don't think we should do it.
The TV gone again? I don't know. Fuck, man.
SOB.
Maybe try the other input next time. I guess. Or does it like time out, the TV?
I don't know.
Hey, dude, can you beer me?
Yeah.
Where's that remote?
Man, thank you.
See if that power goes back on.
How was that?
That's good.
So Alan said he's going to give me a Ray Rocket hoodie.
Yep.
If anybody wants to hold him to that, that's cool with me.
Dude, that is no problem. Just need your address. I'll have merch now. Ship it direct to you.
Okay.
A what hoodie?
Ray Rocket. Did I ever tell you about this?
Mm-mm.
Don't
I
say
hit
it,
a,
dude.
uh,
Don't say it.
I hit a Hello
Okay.
Kitty logo in there, but it's like microscopic.
I don't understand what's happening right now. Ray Rocket? What is that?
Ray Rocket is a dude from Teenage Bottle Rocket.
Oh, okay.
I would assume his name's Ray. I don't know for sure. It'd be cool if it wasn't. His name's Brandon, but his stage name's Ray Rocket. Yeah, and I designed the hoodie that I'm wearing now for him,
Oh, okay.
and I hit a Hello Kitty logo in there.
Hi, everyone.
So you
I
designed
have
this?
some news
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha.
to
Is there a
share
Hello
with
Kitty
all of
thing in
you,
our t-shirt?
And
What's
it's
up?
in keeping with my
never do
longtime
that.
policy of being open and transparent with our Jeopardy fan base.
Why are you playing this right
I also
now?
wanted to prevent
gonna
you
make my
from
movie pick
reading
super
or
bummed.
hearing
Yeah.
some overblown or inaccurate reports regarding my health. So therefore, I wanted to be the one to pass along this information. Now, just like 50,000 other people in the United States each year, this week I was diagnosed with stage 4 pancreatic cancer. Now, normally the prognosis for this is not very encouraging, but I'm going to fight this, and I'm going to keep working, and with the love and support of my family and friends, and with the help of your prayers also, I plan to beat the low survival rate statistics for this disease. Truth told, I have to, because under the terms of my contract, I have to host Jeopardy for 3 more years. So help me. Keep the faith, and we'll win. We'll get it done.
Yeah, that's
Thank
a
you.
bombshell.
Yeah.
That's like the saddest
man.
thing. It's like, dude,
How old is
my
he?
mom said it earlier. She was like, dude, I feel like Alex Trebek is like my cool uncle.
Yeah.
How
He's
old
like,
is
he's
Alex
been a
Trebek?
part of our life for so long.
I know.
I mean, it's like we've been watching Jeopardy since I was a kid, you know?
Yeah.
Like my whole life, Alex Trebek has been a dude on the TV. Mm-hmm. And he's so nice, dude.
He's 78.
78. All right.
Man.
Well,
well, it's just-
that's a good run, statistically,
Yeah,
but
I
also
know.
still shitty.
Yeah, at least it's not
But at least he's not like
Cancer's no
40.
joke. I mean,
Yeah.
that's fucking
Oh, stage 4?
bummer way to die.
one of the worst diseases to have for 500, man.
Yeah.
The-
Oh,
Good one.
Jesus
Let's
Christ.
just do we'll just do the current events now. We'll do the movie pick after.
There's no way you're going to beat that. All right, let's see.
Ouch, dude. I got faith, man. I get that
nobody
same
told me I
ad
said that.
for real.
It is.
Oh,
it's
yeah.
too bad because to your point, he's that voice that, I mean, Jesus, even when I was a little kid, I didn't give a fuck about Jeopardy, so I'd be in my room playing, but I'd hear it in the living room.
Yeah.
So I can't think of many people whose voices I've heard for that long.
Yeah.
It's just, yeah. I think that's what killed, how am I forgetting his name? I almost said Bill Burr. What the fuck?
Talking about the dude from Apple.
No, the comedian.
Bill Hicks.
Bill Hicks. Thank
Yeah.
you.
Oh.
Yep.
It is what that's right. That is what killed
Yeah.
him.
Bill Hicks Fits, my favorite band.
Is that a band?
There's a mashup Misfits
Oh,
Bill Hicks
shit.
t-shirt. Bill
Oh
Hicks
yeah,
Fits.
I've
I've seen the.
It's
yeah.
like one of the greatest shirts I've
That's
ever seen.
that designer's AJ.
Yeah.
And
I'm
he-
friends with him on
Is
Facebook.
it like
Are
the-
you? That's
yeah,
sick.
yeah.
Is it the skeleton
he liked,
face? And
He
Yes.
liked one of my posts once.
That's tight as fuck. He did the Larry Dave head.
Larry
shirt that I
Dave had.
had.
Oh hell yeah,
Yep.
dude.
And I have one more.
He posted I was gonna do a vinyl trade with him because
Oh,
he
really?
bought his kid like an Aesop Rock record that he already had.
Yeah.
And he was like, "Dude, what do you got to trade for it?" And I was like, "I'm too intimidated because you make too cool of t-shirts,
Yeah,
dude.
yeah.
Like, I don't even want to talk to you."
Yeah, he's just an old school. Like I think he's like kind of like a Cali skater.
He's a Chico guy. Yeah,
Yeah. That was the vibe that I got. Awesome guy.
Is this a news segment?
Yep.
What about the dude from School of Rock? You guys hear that news?
No.
You know the kid from School of Rock?
Which
like
one?
the kid who was like, I don't know, the main kid who was like
the
playing
movie?
who's playing the Flying V. I don't know.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
He just got arrested 4 felonies for stealing guitars.
No.
That's
I was
amazing.
positive you were gonna say pedophilia or some
No,
shit
no, no.
because that's what's hot right now.
That's too down, dude.
Dude, that's sick.
hilarious.
How ironic is that?
I need to hear Jack Black's reaction to that.
Yeah, dude. The Legend of the Rent was too hardcore.
Dude,
He had to-
yeah. What's more metal
That's
than
kind
that?
of cool.
yeah.
That's funny. Is
All
he a
right.
musician too? Still?
He has an album on Spotify. Yeah.
That's
Wow.
so sick.
He's from Michigan. Yeah,
Fuck
it's
yeah.
not that great. Not gonna
This is
lie.
probably going to give you a commercial
Oh,
up
yeah,
front.
good call. So let's
Play it.
bink.
That's funny though, man.
All right, so this
That is
first
so
video
funny.
says, I love this shit. Man fakes his own kidnapping to avoid paying $50,000 Super Bowl bet.
I mean, I would do that.
Unbelievable.
That's a lot of money, you know?
People are so fucking dumb.
New York State police say they get a lot of false reports when it comes to money. But the story investigators recently got from a North Tonawanda man was in a league of its own.
This guy ran a football pool, a $50,000 payout football pool, came up with a couple different ways where he could make money off of it and eventually
the
fell
motivational
flat,
thing.
and now we can't make the money up to the people who
Yeah, right.
obviously or eventually won this football pool.
Police say Robert Brandel claimed he picked up 2 men Monday that had bought Super Bowl squares from him. But Brandel says the men then kidnapped him with a gun and took $16,000 in cash from Super Bowl squares. He said the men drove him around Western New York for 2 days, then tied him up
New
and
York.
left him in his car. It was at this parking lot that police found 60-year-old Brandel in the back of a blue Ford F-150
So much gas.
after an individual here called 911 and told them he saw someone in the back of that car with his hands and legs duct taped. But O'Callahan says a lot of things seemed off.
We're on the 3rd day when we find him, but he's pretty clean shaved around his beard. A normal person that's abducted and has gone through something like that
Full
would be
beard.
very, their heart rate would be high, they're very, worried, depressed, a lot of emotions that will be bubbling up.
O'Callahan says it was all a cover.
Yep.
Brandel, he says, ran a
His emotions weren't bubbling.
$50,000 payout pool in which he made up names on some of the squares hoping he'd win. When
Sir,
he
you don't have
didn't,
bubbling emotions,
He couldn't pay
guilty?
the winners
Yeah.
and was short most of the $50,000.
Beyond a reasonable
He's due
doubt,
back
this dude's
Newfane
emotions
Town
are not
Court in
bubbling.
March. In Lockport, Ala Airby, 7 Eyewitness News.
Dude, that is fucking hilarious. Yeah,
Not
that
gonna
guy,
lie, he looks like he would have taken $50,000.
Yeah.
from somebody.
100%.
he does not look trustworthy at all.
If that dude was like, "Hey, somebody tie me up in the back of my F-150 for 2 days in the freezing cold," I would tell him no way.
Yeah. Fuck that.
Yeah, here we go.
Yeah, so this one is oh, what restaurant was he in?
Oh no,
They didn't name the restaurant. I also saw the article.
he played a private. So Kanye West apparently played a private concert for Adidas employees in Portland this morning. That was the other day,
Yeah.
and I saw this from my. Do you know Chris Camp?
Oh,
Name
yeah.
sound familiar?
Yeah.
Chris Camp.
Yeah, it's a buddy of mine. Anyway, he posted
Buddy of
'cause
mine.
he works at Adidas. Oh, okay.
Mutual buddy.
Mutual buddy.
of ours. We're all buddies. So there you go. That's more of a Portland news.
I'm trying to see if I can-
Yeah,
segment.
Chris works at Adidas.
Oh,
But
does he?
But I think he's in Europe right now, and so I don't think he got to see Kanye. But I
Yeah,
don't know.
that's right. He's in Amsterdam or something like that.
Would you rather be in Amsterdam or see Kanye at your work?
Amsterdam.
Yeah.
Yeah, same. Yeah.
I wonder how much. So like that's obviously like a one-off thing. Comes up to Portland, plays a.
My question was,
How much does he make for that?
because
A bunch of money.
I knew about this a few
Maybe.
days ago, and
Kanye doesn't need money.
yeah, I didn't think that.
Aren't Yeezys Adidas?
Mhm.
Yep. Yeah. He so I have like a very close source that is in the meetings where Kanye shows up and does his like Yeezy kind of meeting, whatever. I guess essentially what happens is he rants, as he's known to do,
Mhm.
like an hour or whatever, and then he leaves, and then his constituents, specific to the Yeezy brand, they then field any questions that the Adidas team has based on his
wow.
rants. So you are expected to make notes.
So you're supposed to be Kanye.
Yeah. You just make notes, and then when Kanye is done, he leaves. He will not be personally dealing with your questions, and then his constituents will then.
So like your job is essentially like think like Kanye.
Yeah,
Like-
for the most
Yeah.
part, or
Like,
just listen.
Everybody's
very
got a
closely.
bracelet that's like WWKD.
Yeah.
What would
What would
Kanye do?
Kanye
Oh, I'm sure, dude. I'm sure that's one of his ideas. But that's like if the three of us walked into a boardroom, and we're at Adidas, and they're doing some shoe with me, and I'm like, and I'm going off about just saying whatever random. When in Rome, a penny saved is a penny earned, whatever. And then I fucking bail, and then the Adidas team is like, Sean, what did Alan mean when he? And you have to just do your best to fucking
I'm
answer.
like, dude, you know what Alan meant? Baby metal.
Yep. He's an artist. He loves baby metal, so think that way. Next
Yeah,
question.
yeah.
It just
Definitely
makes no
think
sense.
K-pop.
Yeah. Fucking crazy. And I wonder, like, what do you think the energy level of... Oh, wait. John Wexler, Adidas Vice President of Global Entertainment and Influencer Marketing, uploaded a longer video of Jesus walks taken inside the venue. So is this... Because my question
This
was...
is part of his new show.
So was this at Adidas?
Yeah. Well, I don't know about that one right there.
Is it?
I don't think so.
I doubt he brought all those people to Adidas.
Yeah. Because my question was, what do you think the energy level of a private performance from Kanye is?
Right.
It looks pretty sick, though. I mean,
Like, this is dope, but this is a part of his Sunday service that he does.
yeah. But that's when he came, so whoever was at Adidas, # Sunday service. So I think this is the show he put on for them. But whether or not all those people were there, I don't know, man.
I love this right here.
Yeah, I just read that too.
Says he's angling for job of creative director at Adidas.
What?
But I thought Kanye could just start his own shoe company.
Yeah, exactly.
I thought he was...
Wait, what does it say? It's also worth noting that this impromptu show happened the same day. 2 former Adidas higher ups were sentenced to a total of 15 months in prison.
So what you're saying is there's an opening.
on
Dude.
felony wire fraud charges. Jesus Christ.
Don't worry, man. That's white collar. They'll be out in a year or so.
Oh wait, why is it? Go back.
They paid the families of high profile basketball recruits to ensure that they were Adidas sponsored athletes.
Gotcha. Wow.
You can't fuck with the college.
Yeah.
There's so many rules with that shit.
15 months in prison though, bro. Jesus.
Yeah, no, thank you. What do you think some Adidas executives, how are they going to survive in fucking prison?
I know.
Dude, they're going to have the same thing that Michael Cohen got, dude.
Right.
Michael Cohen got sent to this prison that's like, if you read the description for it, it's like...
Is it like white collar?
Yeah, it's like going to a casino in,
Yeah.
you know, in upstate
Oh,
New York.
gross,
It's like
man.
everybody's got their own room and TV. Like
Why-
everybody's
why is
playing
that?
Fortnite. Like, you
Is
know.
it just money?
It's, I don't know, dude.
Like, you know what
I've
I mean?
never been to prison,
But I mean, why? I don't understand it.
it's probably money because I bet if they sent me to prison, it would be some shitty place for poor people.
I like that these ads give away. I've been looking at fucking floor lamps.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you
isn't
know,
that
you can
weird?
really learn a lot about someone by
God,
the
I
ads
know.
they get.
Thank
Yeah.
God I wasn't
So
looking at
Alan
something.
has been to, he's looking at cocaine,
Yep.
dental implants, and floor
and
lamps.
dildos for some
trying to
weird
get some
reason.
new intestines.
I beg Americans to throw out this vegetable now.
Think cool sculpting fat reduction is expensive? Think again.
So I heard that this building might be haunted.
It probably is.
No, I'm serious.
It probably
The
is.
first thing Mike told me when we came in here was,
Yeah.
he's like, listen, man, we're going to be here some late nights. I
They
just want to
all-
let you guys know
Mike loves saying that
some
shit.
people have seen some shit.
Mike is the only one who's seen some
Really?
shit.
Because
Yes.
he claims he's never seen anything, but he thinks that everyone else has seen stuff.
Oh, really?
Have you ever seen anything?
No.
How late have you been here?
Very, very, very late.
Yeah, James has been
Listen,
here way
man, we were
later
here
than
till 3:30 the other night, and I was like, I mean, I had also been drinking for about 12 hours,
me. That could be it.
but I thought maybe.
Think about all the drugs that are being consumed inside these
Well,
walls.
That's
first of all, I
true.
mean, do you believe in that? Do you think that's a thing?
See, no, not really.
Yeah, me neither.
See, I feel like in order to see creepy shit,
I'm
you have to
open
be
to it.
really open to it.
Right.
But you have to be open in the sense that, like, maybe you totally believe it. Like,
Yeah.
I don't think
Yeah.
a ghost is going to come to a skeptic.
Yeah.
You know, he's
yeah.
going to be like,
Yeah,
oh, he's going
I
to write
hear
this
ya.
off. What's the
I
point?
hear you.
Yeah.
It's like an energy thing. I don't know. All this stuff's weird for me.
It's
but
tough,
I'm
plus-
open
I'm
to it.
too logical, too. I'm always like,
Right.
I want to find an excuse for everything. I can't let anything be like, why did that happen? It's like, let me run every scenario in
I
my
know.
head real
Yeah.
quick
I
and
know.
figure out the most plausible thing.
Well, dude, Occam's razor. It's as simple as what is the most likely scenario, and that's
It's like
typically what
Well, when
it
people
is.
convince themselves of crazy shit. This one, my buddy Crummett, he always told us that he saw Bigfoot.
Yeah.
And like for sure, he saw Bigfoot.
And then he realized there's
And
just a
then-
lot of mirrors in
Well,
his
then he
house.
finally explained the story once to
'Cause he's
us.
tall.
His story was that he was in the woods, but they were camping with some buddies.
Yeah.
And they looked over like a clear cut, and they just saw an animal that they couldn't identify.
Was it someone from
That's
Sandy?
basically the end of the story. I mean, he had some
Yeah.
more fluff to it, but
Yeah, yeah.
at the end of the story, we were just kind of scratching our heads like,
Yep.
so that equals you saw Bigfoot?
I know.
yeah.
You mean you just saw a thing? That
Some
you
people
could,
want to
I don't know.
like. Some people want that so
That's
bad.
what that's
you know?
That's what it is. It's because, dude, I'm a big, like, I'm huge on the Bigfoot thing. I would love for that to be,
Dude.
I get into the whole, like, Gigantus Pithecus, like, it's a fucking, but here's the thing. You would
Well,
know.
the Gigantopithecus was real.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
right. But, like, the idea is that that Bigfoot, Sasquatch, quote unquote, comes from that.
Yeah,
and,
yeah.
like, that existence of Gigantus Pithecus is like a,
Dude.
that's proof that he exists.
How long have you been into Bigfoot?
Jesus.
Like forever?
Dad probably got me into that at, like, 8 years old.
Dude, do you
surprised
remember
that you would be into that.
beefro.net? It was like Bigfoot Field Researchers Organization.
Maybe.
And they had like all the audio, like they had a map of like all the sightings and,
And,
there was
like,
like
footprints
dude,
and
there
shit,
was
probably.
like sightings in Sandy and stuff. And
Oh,
they're like
yeah.
audio clips and like it's just
Why
like,
are all the video clips like that though? And
I know.
Fucking,
people are scared, dude.
Yep.
that's not why.
The only thing about it,
I've never seen anything I'm convinced about.
the only
not once.
fact that I would cling to maybe support, like, because a lot of people are like, well, why don't you, if it's got to eat, right? So why aren't there just like animals being mauled all the time? We do live within a sea of trees. There's parts of
Oh,
the
yeah.
Pacific Northwest. It is like the ocean, but above
Especially out in
ground.
Canada.
Yeah, and it's trees. But that's a tough thread to hang on.
You heard
to.
Rogan talk about that?
Oh yeah.
And he did that show.
Yep.
What was the name of the show?
Uh,
It's like Rogan.
oh my god.
God
It's
damn.
on Sci-Fi, right?
Joe Rogan. Something proves
questions everything
questions
or
everything.
something.
Questions
I think
everything.
I don't know
Yeah.
if that's what it's called, but
I'm
that,
almost
but
positive.
I think
my
that is
brain
what it
went
is.
there real quick.
Yep.
Yeah.
Rogan questions everything.
Anyway,
People are Googling for a season 2. Rogan's never doing a season 2 of that.
Joe
He-
Rogan doesn't
I
have
liked it.
time,
It's
dude.
funny.
He's too busy.
No, and he's at that point where he can do whatever the fuck
as
he
says,
wants
fuck you, money.
to do. Like,
Oh yeah.
he doesn't have to say yes to shit for
It's
money now.
shit. He didn't even have to then.
No.
But yeah, I liked it because he's just like us. It's like, wait, what?
Yeah. Rogan said recently he was talking about how he was hunting. He was out there with his fucking whatever his buddy was, Cam Haynes.
Cam Haynes, yeah. You know he's from here?
Yeah, he was like, oh, I was out there and I was positive I saw a wolf, ended up being a squirrel. He's like, that's literally
wow.
that's how hard your eyes can play tricks on you.
Oh yeah.
Especially out there, man.
And he's like, I was looking for wolves because those are predators. That's what I was worried about. I wasn't worried about squirrels.
Right.
So I'm not seeing squirrels when I look around,
Yeah.
but really it was just it was my eyes playing tricks on me. It was a distance issue. It was a perspective issue.
Right.
Yeah. Well, it's weird it's weird when you consider that we're just like animals anyways.
Yeah.
And it's like, so your brain does all this weird like animal stuff.
Yeah.
But like,
Yeah.
it's trying to adapt to like we think we're so cool and sophisticated as
I
like
know.
people, you know, but we're really just
We're
like,
still just eating
just
and
dumb.
shitting and farting all day.
Yeah, and we still have like the same responses, you know?
Fear and-
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's a reason your brain does that, right? Because it's like, okay, well, maybe it is a squirrel, and if it's a squirrel, that's great because it's not going to kill you.
Yeah.
But it's like your brain should definitely be like, oh shit, like let's be on alert. Like we
Well,
could
it's
get
almost like
killed right now.
our evolution has also made us like we're more advanced, but we're also softer
So
because
soft.
we don't live in a situation where when you and I walk to our cars after this interview,
Tigers.
there's fucking wolves
Yeah.
and bears and shit ready to eat
Yeah.
our shit. So we don't have to worry about that. So now we're just almost too relaxed, and I feel like there's got to be some sort of like a physiological response to that where we're just
I think people who hunt like that, like
Yeah.
my brother-in-law is like Cam Haynes, and I mean he's a psycho. He fucking he's like goes in the middle of nowhere for 3 weeks on end.
horrifying.
He's a bad motherfucker. Yeah, horrifying. Exactly. He has like wolf stories, grizzly bear attacks. It's crazy shit. Cougars. Like he's a madman.
Yeah.
But anyway, he just has a different perspective because
Yeah.
he is around that stuff all the time.
Whenever
it's
I
kind
see-
of part like semi-professional for him,
because
so
of
he
the
does it all
internet,
time.
you constantly see that like, guy plays with tiger. Like
Yeah.
those used to be shocking videos. Now they're a dime a dozen.
Yeah.
But I saw another one today. Some guy's rolling around in this little pond with a tiger, and I'm just sitting there thinking like that's awesome. But
I kind of hope the tiger.
But dude,
fucking
you should be
swipes his face
terrified.
off.
I could never do that because it just in that one instance you get killed. You don't. That's not a sick way to go down.
Yeah.
No.
That's like, oh, what happened to Alan? He got eaten by a tiger because he's an idiot. He was rolling around with a fucking.
Well, and it's like
a
people
legit
who
predator.
respect
Yeah.
animals, like, oh, he's so cute. It's like
Yeah.
you're actually hurting that animal.
Yeah.
People need to respect the animal for what they are.
Yeah, there
They're
are
wild.
boundaries within the system.
Bears will eat you asshole
Yeah.
first while
Oh,
you're alive.
Dude,
Don't give a
did you
fuck.
hear about
Don't
that
give a
dude
fuck.
who fought the mountain lion?
Yeah, we
Did you
talked
end up
about it.
hearing about it? Like the current?
I didn't.
Yeah,
follow
yeah.
it.
He
What
like
was-
killed it. He like
No, that it was a 22-pound baby.
yeah.
Yeah, because we talked. We were like, that's
Oh, I
so
didn't-
badass.
Yeah,
This guy
I
strangled
heard
the
that it was
fucking
like,
yeah.
well, because when I first heard about it, I was like, dude, there's no way. I was like, if it was me versus a mountain lion, I'd be dead.
That's what I
Right.
said.
I was like,
Yeah, you did say
100%.
that.
He put it in a rear naked choke, and I'm like, you know the kind of power.
Dude,
yeah,
I'm
you
thinking-
were right. I bought it. I
had
was
a-
like, that guy's badass.
I've had
man.
cats. Like I know how much like a
Yes.
little like
Right.
8-pound
Yeah, I
cat
have
can do to me.
cats,
There's
too.
no way I could take
It's a
on
different kind of muscle.
like unless
Yeah.
I got a gun like or like
To
a
be fair,
baseball bat or
a
like
23 pound or
trap.
whatever it was, cougar is still nothing
Huge.
to
Yes.
fuck around with.
Yeah, so when I heard that, I was like, okay, that makes
But
more
still.
sense. Now I at least can understand how he like
It's plausible,
how he
like,
could
yeah.
like maneuver around it, but
Right.
dude, I'm not that tough.
No.
It was funny because that dude's interview on TV, he was like, I just turned around and I saw it chasing me, and I was like, that sucks.
Is that what he said?
Yeah, I was like, yeah, no shit.
Yeah. I love when
That
people
sucks.
play situations back and they have like a very cavalier attitude. When
It's not a big deal.
if that's really how you felt at the time, you're partially brain dead.
I was like, yeah.
Your systems should be firing off
Yeah,
the
dude.
charts
Bro.
at that point.
Yeah, well, it's like, I mean, even like, dude, if I'm walking down the street and some dude's like walking towards me, like all dressed in black with like a hood on,
Yeah.
my heart's like, all right.
Oh yeah.
I was like just be down to either run or fight if you have to, you
Yep.
know? And like, that's not even weird. Can you imagine turning around and like seeing a mountain lion chasing you?
Yep.
It would like, there'd be no like, maybe I should restrain this. It'd just be like, oh, fuck, dude.
Yeah.
Like, this is
do
100%
you
fight
do?
right now.
I would take a couple steps
I'd
back
lose.
just for that extra 3 seconds to assess the situation. If it's in pounce mode, I'm probably getting in pounce
I'd
mode.
be dead.
It's possible because I mean, with the claws and the teeth and shit, it can hit just the right spot on you, and then you're fucked before you start.
Just hope you have a gun on you.
Yeah,
or something on you.
you need to take defensive position, and then in a weird way, I feel like grappling is maybe the smartest.
There's the drummer in my band grew up in Alaska, and they've got this picture. Like his family has this picture on their wall, where like this bear was charging his dad, and he like pulled his gun out. And his mom got a picture of him like holding like this pistol out with like a bear like about to charge him, because she's like, I can't do anything, so I'll just take a picture. You know? And he's doing all he can do, but it's like it's the most badass picture of all time.
Oh, I'm
it's
sure.
Just like,
there's an island right outside Norway. It's like Svalbard or something like that. Anyway, they have polar bears there because it's so far north that it's actually towards Russia. Crazy. Anyway, that's in this area. The people are required to carry a firearm when they go outside their house.
I mean, it kind of makes sense.
But it's like a town. It's not just
like
rural.
if you're somewhere where that's a real thing, it makes sense. You know.
Yeah, it's just too much of a liability.
I've been thinking about that. Like, I mean, I don't own a gun, but I'm like, man, like me and Leanna were like hiking one time, and we were like way out, and like we thought we heard something like growling in the bushes at us.
Yeah.
And what did we do? Instead of like totally like playing it cool and like being big, we fucking like ran. You know what I mean? Like we're just like, oh my God, what do we do? Yeah. But it's like, man, like we're like at Mount St. Helens or something. And it's like, dude, like it'd just probably be a good idea to just like have a handgun or like just something or like hiking, something loud, like something that you could just scare the shit out of something with. Yeah.
I know.
I
know.
I hope I make it, man.
I know.
Let's move on here. We're running out of time.
Speaking of predators,
as you can tell, I don't go outside much.
R. Kelly taken into custody after court appearance and following interview.
Did you hear the video or is that what we're about to listen to?
Yeah, we're gonna watch that little.
Oh, there we go, dude.
Cry, you little bitch.
I didn't do nothing.
I didn't mean to pee on those girls.
He was actually taken into custody for unpaid child support.
Yeah, 16,000 or something.
His
first
kids?
Since being charged with sexual abuse last month. Gayle King of CBS This Morning just spoke with Kelly. The charges against the singer involve 4 women, 3 of whom were allegedly underage at the time. In an interview that just wrapped, Kelly told Gayle the accusations are lies.
Part of the trial.
We have 2 clips here. Here is the first.
They are still talking about you with underage girls. Do you still sit here and say you have never been with underage girls? Can you really say that?
I sit here and say this. I had 2 cases back then that I said in the beginning of the interview that I would not talk about because of my ongoing case now.
Okay.
Right? Okay, fair enough. But
it's weird how you can just tell,
I will
right?
tell you this.
People are telling the truth.
People are going back to my past. Okay? That's exactly what they're doing. They're going back to the past, and they're trying to add all of this stuff now to that, to make all of the stuff that's going on now feels real to people.
But the past is relevant with you with underage girls.
Absolutely no, it's not.
Why?
Because for one, I beat my case. When you beat something, you beat it.
You were acquitted.
We can't double jeopardy me like that. You can't. It's not fair. It's not fair to nobody.
Not fair,
when you beat your case, you beat your case.
But I'm not talking about the one case in which you were acquitted. I'm talking about the other cases where women have come forward and said, R. Kelly had sex with me when I was under the age of 18.
Oh, dude.
R. Kelly was abusive to me, emotionally and physically and verbally.
Okay.
R. Kelly took me in a black room where
His response should not
unspeakable
be,
things happen. This is what they're saying about you. These aren't old rumors.
If I saw that dude, I would not know it was R. Kelly.
New rumors.
Like if I was at Starbucks and that dude was there,
not true.
I wouldn't be like, oh, is that R. Kelly?
Kelly became much more emotional as Gayle continued her questioning. Here's more of that.
He sure did.
And correct me if I'm wrong, that you have never held anybody against their will.
I like when the makeup artist is powdering his
Well, I'm
How
stupid
stupid
would
would
never
be
held
for
anybody.
R. Kelly, with all I've been through in my way past, to hold somebody, let alone 4, 5, 6, 50, you said. How stupid would I be to do that?
I didn't say you were
That's
holding.
stupid, guys.
I didn't
Is
say
this
you were
camera
holding.
on me?
Yes, it's on.
That's stupid.
This is called a
Use
meltdown.
your common sense.
Yeah.
Don't Forget the blogs. Forget how you feel about
dude,
it.
he seems innocent, man. I mean, that's what an innocent dude
This is called the realization that prison is around the corner for you.
Yeah, and also, like, you know, things with kids don't go over super well in prison.
I just think I need to be a monster and hold girls
I
against
can't
their
handle
wheels,
prison.
chain them up in my basement, and don't let them eat, and don't
Duh.
let them
Wait, is he
confessing?
Yeah, he's just telling you what he's done.
He's like, hey, man, there's not 12 people in the basement tied up who haven't eaten. Don't check.
Also,
so much detail.
Let's talk about a really important point right now.
Her name's not Sandra.
Look how he is disregarding the female that is interviewing him, and he's going straight to the camera.
Yep. She doesn't exist.
He's just like, fuck this person.
At one point, she says, like, hey, we need to have a conversation. You're not just going to rant to the camera.
Y'all quit playing. Quit playing.
Robert,
I didn't do this
Quit
stuff.
the witch hunt, dude.
This is not me. I'm fighting for my life.
Yeah.
This is presidential harassment.
It gets worse. What a turd.
R. Kelly harassment.
Man, I like this. This dude's face is the best. Like, what a fucking liar.
God.
Man.
Pretty good.
Just a matter of time. Let's get it done. Like, in a weird way.
Yeah, hasn't R. Kelly been peeing on people for a lot of decades?
Oh, yeah, just a quarter of a century he's been doing this shit. But here's my thing. As juicy as this was to watch, and trust me, I watched it the second I knew it was a thing, it bums me out that that we're looking at, this entire webpage, is even a thing. Like, get this fucking trial going. Let's get him put away. I don't like this pedestal that we put monsters on for a little bit before we punish them.
Yeah.
Like, just get them, dispose
like,
of them.
don't even give him a platform.
Yes.
Don't let him have a 60 Minutes interview.
Yeah. This guy is fucking touching children, and then we're just like, hey, man, you want to dress nice?
Hey, dude, you want to
to
cry on camera for like an hour and let the
internet... It's going to be on television, man. Let's get your notoriety up.
Let's make you relevant again.
I should have brought this up earlier. But Alan, did you watch the Lorena Bobbitt documentary?
I still need
series?
to.
Okay,
I was about
we'll talk
to,
about it next week.
and then I watched Leaving Neverland.
Okay.
That kind of took over.
So then we'll swap homework. I'll watch
cool.
Leaving Neverland. You watch that. We'll talk about it next week.
You said it's on Amazon Prime. I can get it?
Yeah.
I'll watch it
It's
tonight.
just called Lorena, I think. It's fucking dope. And what's his name? Jordan Peele did it.
Yes,
Yeah.
that was
He was like the
another.
executive
I was
producer.
already gonna watch it, and then when I heard that, I was like, dude,
he nailed it, man. Good for him.
Speaking of which, man, only a few more weeks, I think.
I know.
It got moved to April.
Oh,
we can
did
see
it?
Us, the new
Did it?
Jordan Peele movie. Yeah,
Fuck my life, really?
It was March 18th.
Let's watch that trailer. That
Okay.
sounds fucking dope. Yes. Yeah, the series for Lorena was
wait a minute.
really, really good.
Nope, March 21st
good.
now.
Good. Fuck yeah.
I'm legit gonna see that in theaters.
Oh my god.
I don't even give a shoot.
Get Out was one of the best movies the past 5 years or more.
Yeah,
Is this by the same person?
Yeah. Sean, did you see Get Out?
I did, yeah.
That's
a classic right there.
So good.
You liked it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I went with a girl that fell asleep in the theater.
Oh.
Really?
I was like, yo, we got to break up. We're done.
Hey, in that girl's defense, I fall asleep in everything I watch. Yeah.
It's a dope song. Don't do drugs.
Get in rhythm. There you go. There you go.
Oh, so creepy, his vibe.
Can't believe how big they've got.
Did you hear Gabe got a boat?
He's kidding, right?
He's not kidding.
Hey, I think it's vodka o'clock.
Oh, yeah.
Where's Jason?
Jason?
Where were you? I didn't know if you were lost. Stick with me, and I'll keep you safe.
There's a family in our driveway.
It's probably the neighbors. But y'all scared of a family?
Hi, can I help you?
Zora, put your shoes on.
If you want to get crazy, we can get crazy.
Can't handle this, dude. No thanks.
What are you people?
It's us. They look exactly like us. They think like us. They know where we are. We need to move and keep moving. They won't stop until they kill us. Or we kill them.
Yes.
Dude, how sick does that look?
God,
I just love that it's horrifying, but also doesn't make sense. So it's like, well, now I got to fucking watch it.
Yeah.
What is that plot?
Yes.
Yeah.
So pumped.
Dude, that's like my favorite kind of scary movie.
Same. There's an extra layer. It's not just your typical like they show up and they terrorize the family, but the family somehow kills them and everybody's okay. It's like, why? Why are they there? All those fucking bunny rabbits? Is there some cloning situation going on? Like, dude.
Oh, dude.
So good.
Oh, dude. You saw some stuff in that trailer.
Yeah.
Dude.
I tried to deduce. We'll see.
Smart guy over here.
We'll see.
All right. Speaking of movies, Sean, every week I do a movie pick of the week. So this week I'm going to tie it in with a little Disney theme because I just got back from Disneyland, as you guys know.
Yeah, dude.
First of all, Alan, had a blast. I missed you. It was a good time though.
Yeah.
And it got me thinking, we got to do a trip down there, man. We got to do an LA trip, even if we don't do Disneyland. But
yeah,
it's just fun down there, man. So much to do.
You ever seen the movie Bulletproof real quick?
No.
So the whole time you're in Disneyland, I just kept thinking about this scene.
This was a while ago, right?
This scene. I couldn't stop.
90s movie.
I almost sent it to you.
Police station. Excuse me. More crack tonight or something?
Dude, he was so funny.
This is one of the best movies of all time.
Yeah.
Wayans, man.
Yo, could you help a brother out, man? We trying to get to Disneyland. The two of you were on your way to Disneyland. Yeah, this is my retarded friend. He's from
I do remember
Arkansas somewhere, and he wants to go to Disneyland. Why you want to go to Disneyland, man? Disneyland. Disneyland.
I remember this.
Where?
Disneyland.
I love the way he says Disneyland. Say that again. Disneyland.
Oh, dude. I just wanted to send you like audio memos and just go Disneyland.
Every time I'm saying Disneyland.
Yeah.
Were they like cops? Was that a buddy cop movie?
Yeah. So Damon Wayans was a cop. Adam Sandler was like a drug mule that Damon Wayans was trying to incriminate, but they become friends as they're doing this undercover shit. Anyway, dude, it's so good. Dude. It's such a good movie.
It's good air for movies.
Oh my god, the best.
For comedies especially.
Drives me fucking crazy. And it'll never be that way again, and that's okay, but
it might be. I mean, I see what you're saying. It won't be that.
Just even down to like the like graininess of it. Like it looked very 90s
VHS-y.
and the humor, like he uses the word retarded. You're not going to hear that in a movie anymore.
I know.
There's a scene where
PC assholes.
There's a scene where Adam Sandler's trying to escape. And Damon Wayans catches him as he's naked, trying to get out of he was in the shower, and then he's trying to escape out the bathroom window. And Damon Wayans stops him by sticking a gun in his ass very slowly. You're never going to see that now.
Not ever.
And Adam Sandler's like, oh my God, please get that gun out of my ass. Like that just ridiculous, like slapstick shit.
That's fucking dope.
It's so good. Anyway.
Yeah, so anyway, had a great time at Disneyland. If for people who haven't been there, especially as an adult, it is so fun. Like I don't give a fuck. You don't even need a kid to go. I don't. But you don't need kids to go. I did go with my older sister and her niece, who was 11.
Is Galaxy's Edge open yet?
What's that?
Galaxy's Edge, is
I
that
believe
open
so.
yet?
That's what took over for
Galaxy's Edge?
It's the Star Wars.
Oh, no. They're building it right now. It's going to be open this summer.
I was thinking of Guardians of the Galaxy.
That is why I picked this movie.
Instead of Tower of Terror.
It is.
Okay.
Pissed a lot of people off. And I've never gotten to ride it.
Better than Tower of Terror.
Dude, as soon as the Star Wars thing's open.
Dude, yeah.
My band's playing a show in LA.
It's going to be crazy. Dude, I would wait till like the fall because we were hearing how like the park is already packed in the summer.
Oh, when Cars Land was a brand new thing? I was there.
I bet.
It was a nightmare.
Undoable.
Yeah.
But yeah, the crowds were great because it was February. Mm-hmm. Still fucking packed, by the way, though. There's like never a downtime there. And that starts occurring to you after 3 days. You're like, this is like this all the time, all year round.
Yeah.
The amount of money they must churn.
How many acres?
It's tough to say.
Like it's huge, right?
Or we can look it up. Disney. So there's Disneyland.
Yeah, and then California Adventure. Yeah. Yep.
So that whole world, I mean, I don't know.
85 acres.
We walked.
It's actually not like as many as I thought it would be.
We walked
Disney
like
World,
20 miles a day.
Damn, dude.
I mean,
oh yeah, I was doing 15 to 20 every time I was there.
But we were hard in the paint. We did open and close.
27,000 acres for Disney World. Yeah, Disney World.
So Disney World is way bigger.
It's
Disneyland. 80 something, 85.
Oh, okay.
And what was Disney World?
That's humongous.
27,000.
And that's
acres?
just
Yeah.
But that's just Disneyland.
See, I've never been to Disney World.
See, Disney World, you can't fuck around there less than a week. Like a week is barely enough time.
Really?
Yeah.
Man.
So big.
It's huge.
The only time I've been to Florida is
so
the
fun
airport.
though, man.
Yeah.
It's so good.
It's been purposeful.
Yeah.
So did you do the Tower of Terror?
Yep.
So the Guardians, it's the same building. It's the same tower.
Mm-hmm.
But obviously it's renovated for Guardians. But it's like, at first I had no interest in going the ride. Not really. I was like, oh, so it's 140-foot drop and shoot you up without you knowing.
Down. Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, I have zero interest in that. And my sister just kept busting my balls. She's like, don't be a weenie. Just try it. I promise you, it's so fun. I went on the first time, and I came off, and I was just like so stimulated, I couldn't process my thoughts. And I was like, I think I like it, but I'm not sure. And it was the same thing for the roller coaster, what do they call it? The Incredicoaster.
Wait, where's that at?
That's on the California Adventure side. Actually, both of those rides.
It used to be called California Screamin', is it?
Yeah, that's right. It's the same. It's a little bit different, but
that's
it's
one of the
same
best roller coasters.
Right?
Like
it's like legitimately
pound.
It's been
good.
a long time.
It's doable though.
So
like
fun.
anyone can do it, but
there's a loop and like that. That's as exciting.
It's
as
just super fast.
Yeah.
Anyway, the Guardians ride though, and then I went on the second time, and that's what got me like, okay, now I fucking love this thing. And we went on that thing.
And now you probably consider it like
over.
that's one of the easier rides, right? Like
it's the best ride there, I'd say. Yeah. That and like Space Mountain. I love Space Mountain.
Did you hit Splash Mountain?
We did Splash Mountain,
Splash Mountain. Those are my favorite drops.
When I was a kid, man, we went to Disneyland. We did the thing, man. And we went on Splash Mountain, and my sister was like, you got to sit in the front. I was like,
right.
all right. And as soon as we
started,
started, it's like right before we hit the ground, she like slammed my face into the front of the ride, and I got a bloody nose.
Oh my God.
Yeah, like I don't think it was intentional, but she was like freaking,
Yeah.
like just bashed my head into that thing, man.
God.
Just
That's
crying
so
like a
good.
little baby.
But the Guardians ride is like just so. I mean, all the rides are well done.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But even like just walking through the line is detailed out, themed out for the movie. Do you remember the movie very well? With its
Guardians of the Galaxy. I never saw it.
Oh, it's fucking awesome.
That's all
You ever
I
want to
hear.
see Chris Pratt with abs, dude?
I would like to. And that's that cute.
No, it is like, and I
raccoon.
don't even really like superhero movies that
Right.
much, but it's legitimately good. The soundtrack's really fun, and yeah, it's
I
good.
thought Guardians of the Galaxy was a lot of fun.
Yeah, me too.
I've had a lot of fun with a lot of the Marvel movies lately. Like
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
didn't
they can be
I didn't see the first two Thor movies, and then the
I
third
always
one
bring up
came
Thor
out
first.
Yeah.
So if you like Thor, it's
Yeah.
really funny, right? Yeah, you like Guardians.
Yeah, I
It's the
was
same
like,
thing.
dude, I have zero interest in seeing Thor.
I
And then like the
know.
Ragnarok trailer dropped, and I was like,
It's
oh,
so
I'd watch
good.
that.
Yeah.
I mean, it's really
I'd
good.
watch that movie.
Yeah, my 14-year-old brother was
really
like, "This
funny.
is the shit," and I had like 2 hours to kill, so I popped it on Netflix, and I was like, "You're right, it's
Yeah.
amazing."
You're like, that was not a total waste.
Yeah, like
Natalie
anything.
Portman wasn't in it, but all right, we can,
That is the only bummer.
But I was just blown away at the detail of this place, man. And that ride, like I said, so you're supposed to be in the Collector. That's the name of like one of the villain dudes.
Oh, okay.
It's Benicio del Toro's character. He's like this crazy guy who collects shit from around the galaxy. And you're walking through his office, and then the little fucking raccoon dude named Rocket.
Yeah.
That's Bradley Cooper's character. He comes out like an actual animatronic, bounces around, and he mutes the guy's TV. He's like, screw this guy. Anyway, the point of like the ride is that you're with Rocket and you're trying to rescue their friends. So you have to go rescue Chris Pratt and whatever. And I mean, 140 feet. It's actually more than that. It's close to 10 stories. And it fucking opens the door, and it's like a movie screen, and it's like the movie, but they filmed different footage for the ride. Yep. And they start playing like 80s music, and it's different every time you go on it.
That's cool.
So it'll be like, hit me with your best shot, or like Joan Jett, fucking, I think Michael Jackson, shit like that. And then out of nowhere, you just fucking fly to the top.
Yeah.
And at one point, I had my hat, and you can't wear anything in your hat, or like any of this shit's gonna come off. And I was stepping on my hat with my foot, and I accidentally like let all my limbs up because it's hard not to. And my hat came flying up like Apollo 13 style. And me and my sister both look at each other and see my hat, and I'm like, whoa.
Save that shit.
It was fucking dope, man.
Yeah.
Such a great place. And just the
I know.
like I was saying earlier, the forced perspective to make it seem, and they make it to where you can't see the rest of California, so
Yep.
you don't realize
You're
visually.
in Disneyland.
Yeah, you're in a different land, and then they're just pumping out like in Main Street and shit. They're pumping out dope smells.
Yes,
and
that's real.
Ugh.
That's real.
I'm all
Everything's
about it,
I
dude.
think it's a 5/8 size of construction.
It's brilliant.
And the more time you're there, because you said you've been there for like days on end, right?
Yeah.
You start noticing these weird small details. Like we saw a guy sweeping leaves.
Oh yeah, don't even get me started with this shit.
And he's sweeping into a bag, and then he just leaves a little pile in the shape of a Mickey and just walks away.
Yeah.
And like no one was watching him.
I
It was
know.
just me and my sister were watching this guy in like a very.
I saw like a group of custodians, and then one of them just flips over his trash can thing, and then takes these drumsticks out of the back of his pocket, starts drumming, and then one of the like sweepers, breaks the broom, like twists the broom in half, 2 drumsticks.
Right.
Another garbage can, and now there's just I'm watching like Stomp. And
Right,
it was just
right.
live. It was just right there.
Yeah, totally.
A crowd forms.
They make it feel like it is a magical place. Like
Yeah.
shit can just go down.
Yep. Like look everywhere, because at any point something's sick, and then to be in that headspace, it's brilliant, because then it puts you in this like this place is magical.
My dad used to work at Disneyland.
Oh, that's sick.
Yeah, he worked at like the hat shop. Where you write the name on the Mickey
Yeah,
hats.
yep.
And
That's
like the
cool.
magic shop in Main Street.
Dude, that's
So-
where Steve Martin started.
He met Michael Jackson on Main Street.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Crazy shit.
Huh.
A wonderful place, man. It's super fun.
I
don't
can't
wanna
wait
bore
for
you guys with that,
Galaxy's Edge, dude. I'm buying like a full
Dude,
like Jedi. Like
it
I'm growing the
looks
hair out. Like I'm
amazing.
getting the little thing going on.
Yeah.
And like, dude, as soon as Galaxy's Edge hits, I'm like,
it's gonna be
I'm
dope.
there, dude. Our whole band. Mark my words, dude. The day that opens, we'll be playing in LA.
Why not? If you can make that shit happen.
There's a really good view of like, what's it called? It's what the Swiss Family Robinson Tower, treehouse used to be. It's something else now. It's like the Tarzan thing or something. But it goes really high up.
Yep.
And you can see the Star Wars land being built. It is so big.
Oh yeah, it's huge, dude.
Yeah, they're not
so
stupid.
dope.
They know
I've
what
been
kind of a
following,
franchise that is.
Oh, and they're building a whole hotel too.
Really?
And like, and as part
For
of
the Star Wars park?
Yeah. And
Oh,
as
wow.
part of the hotel, they're like send people on missions. So like the whole thing is interactive. Like it's
Right.
not just like you go to the Star Wars area and it's Star Wars themed. It's like as soon as you get there, they lock you into a narrative and they like get you to play the role.
Oh my
The whole
God.
time you're there. It's
No
like
way.
you're in the world. Yeah. And I heard that like
cool.
they're making a bar like in the Star like it's going to be like one of the first parts of Disneyland
Is it
that
gonna
like
be that
serves
fucked up bar?
alcohol. And so like they'll give you like Star Wars drinks that are like real alcohol like in the Star Wars area. I'm so stoked, dude.
I just want to be there for the first time that interactive bullshit doesn't happen on like a grumpy dad.
And it's like, yeah, I'm not doing any
It's
of
like,
that.
hey, John Smith, I'm here to check in. Me and my family are here. Oh, great. So the princess has been taken. He's like, what the fuck is my room
Shut up.
number? I'm
Yeah.
not doing this shit right
Yeah.
now.
I'm on vacation.
My kids will be down later, dude.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
Oh, God.
That's awesome.
All right, let's jam this
Yeah,
trailer.
let's jam trailer.
I got 6% of my
Let's do it.
battery life.
Yeah, check this movie out, Alan.
I
I'll be
need
very
to,
surprised
yeah.
if you didn't like it.
He got so ripped for this movie.
Yeah. Hey, cool, man. No problem. No problem at all.
This director, James Gunn, is great too.
Star-Lord. Who? Well, Star-Lord, man.
Alan, do you know the story
Legendary
of
outlaw?
his character?
Vaguely.
He's from Earth, from like the late 80s.
We arrested
The only
these
thing he
five on
has
Xandar.
to
Check
tie
out the
him to
rap
his
sheets.
family on Earth
AKA
is
the
a
Destroyer.
Walkman
Since his wife and
with
family
music.
were killed, he's been on a rampage across the galaxy in his search for vengeance. Gamora, soldier, assassin, wanted on over a dozen counts of murder. Rocket, wanted on over 50 charges of vehicular theft and escape from lockup.
What the hell?
Groot has been traveling recently as Rocket's personal houseplant / muscle. Peter Jason Quill. He's also known as Star-Lord.
Who calls him that?
Himself, mostly. He's wanted largely
Yeah,
on
just
charges of minor assault, public intoxication, and
They don't blur
fraud.
that in the movie, do they? Okay.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't know how this machine worked.
Yeah, it's like borderline not appropriate for kids.
Right.
It's kind of like Thor kind of goes there.
You son of a... Hey! Take those headphones off right now!
Dude, he's ripped, man. This is no Parks and Rec.
They call themselves the Guardians of the Galaxy.
What a bunch of a-holes.
Hooked on a feeling.
There you go.
You only have to watch 2 of them, right?
Yeah.
Aren't there 2 of them?
Yeah, there's the second one, right? Is the second one out?
Yeah, it's been out for a while.
And I think
Jesus.
they've been debating the third one, yeah.
Do you have any battery at all?
4%.
Go back to YouTube real quick. Type in Guardians of the Galaxy ride. I wonder if there's anything. I watched at one point. There's some decent videos of it. People like snuck in their phone, probably.
Are you supposed to turn your phone off?
But
Is that the
you
Disneyland
couldn't even have
way?
your phone. I don't know how this guy.
Really?
did it. It's just too intense. You're flying around.
Oh, I
Look how
get
fucking tall that thing is.
I'm
And
going
you
to
can't really see,
Disneyland,
but there's
dude.
like bay doors that open at the very top of the tower. They actually open to the outside.
that's killer, man.
So you see the outside.
One of the Guardians of the Galaxy. The smart one. Listen up. He's gonna
Looks just
put
like
you
Bradley
on a gantry
Cooper.
lift for your
Yeah.
tour.
Just
I'm
like
gonna
him.
sneak on top of your lift.
That's like the waiting
Sounds like
room.
fucking George Costanza. Is that Bradley Cooper's voice?
I'm gonna blast that thing and destroy all the control systems.
You can't hear that?
Which will open up every cage in this freak show and free
Yeah, it's weird, right? That's him.
He's doing a great
I know.
job.
Mantis in the getaway ship
All right,
waiting
fast
for
forward.
my
This is just the beginning shit. See if.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so you're like in a mini movie theater almost. When it opens up.
That looks way cooler than the shit that would open up for Tower of Terror. Tower of Terror was like some 1960s.
Right. It was like Twilight, wasn't it?
Wow. Yeah, it was supposed to be Twilight Zone shit.
But it's like always just kind of hovering. That does, obviously no justice. You're fucking flying up a building.
That's rad.
So and then it goes outside.
I love the
and it takes
opening
a
of the-
picture
yeah.
right there. So right before you fall, it takes your dumb picture so you look like an insane person. That's some hilarious pictures.
That's so sick.
Yeah, man. Good times.
Fuck.
All you got to do is borrow a kid.
Yeah.
Maybe R. Kelly will let you.
That's me giving a good salute before we flew down.
Oh, nice.
But see, if you really pay attention, I'm a pussy and I'm holding on with my other arm.
Hey, man. Whatever you got to do for safety.
I'm not putting all my trust in that stupid seatbelt.
Yeah, fuck that. Although,
All
dude,
right.
if a ride was going to fall apart, I'd want it to be at Disneyland. I'm trying to make some money.
Yeah, for sure.
Fuck, dude.
That's what I'm saying, dude.
People get borderline decapitated at Knott's Berry Farm, and they're like, we'll give you like a blueberry muffin. Like,
Dude,
we don't-
Knott's Berry Farm was the shit when I was a
man.
kid, man.
Yeah.
I remember that.
Six Flags.
My
is
dad,
crazy.
worked in San Diego when I was a kid, and it was
Oh,
like,
nice.
it was like Knott's Berry Farm was like the first place I went, and
Yeah.
I was like, this is so cool.
Yeah.
It's funny though, because
It's
like
not that cool.
in comparison to Disneyland, Knott's Berry Farm is garbage.
It's
But
like a
then
jelly
If you
factory.
compare Enchanted Forest to Knott's
That's
Berry
true.
Farm,
That's true.
It's just like
I haven't been to Enchanted Forest though in a long time.
same. I remember it just being
Think it
like a
holds up?
Discovery Zone outside. That's all that is. It's an outdoor Chuck E. Cheese.
Yep.
All right, let's wrap this sucker up. I'm going way over.
Sorry.
Where can people find you, homeboy?
The internet.
The interweb.
If you use Google, you can find the Angry Lisas just about everywhere.
What's your Instagram handle, Mr. Sean Taylor?
Mine is Mr. Sean Taylor. The band is the Angry Lisas.
Dope. Is that a good place to go for the band on Instagram?
Yeah, Instagram is like, it's pretty much been like our best platform.
Yeah, it's perfect for bands.
Yeah, it's been like,
It's what
honestly,
we always
like,
wanted.
Yeah, like Instagram has been like,
Like
that's been the key to our
I thought
band.
it was MySpace back in the day. I was like, this is the perfect thing
No,
for
dude.
a band. It's Instagram.
Like Facebook sucks.
It does.
Like Twitter is like, I don't get it.
Yeah, it's for
And,
celebrities
like,
only.
Yeah,
That's
but
my
like,
theory.
but Instagram, man, it's like, dude, people find our band on Instagram. Like, I've been shipping records to like Europe and
Right.
like,
That's awesome.
just like all over the, and it's just like just random folks like find us on Instagram. So
Yeah.
yeah, that's the place.
Yeah, I love Instagram.
I've met so many cool people. Like like, it's unbelievable, man.
It's awesome.
I know. I used to think that Instagram was only going to be dope for people like me that did something visual.
I know.
Yeah.
Because, when it started, it was.
Yeah,
It was just
they've
like
done such a great job of pivoting into, like, oh, we got video, we got, you know.
Oh, it's a whole, like, it's
a billion
it's
ways.
everything you need, dude.
Yeah.
Story
and like
thing.
dropping like messaging too is like, at
Yes.
first I was like, why do you need that? But then I was like, okay, this really is a game changer.
Yeah.
Dude,
totally.
it's like, dude, this, like, I met some folks from like Germany, like, who started following our band on Instagram, and they were like, we're gonna be in the States, and like, we really want to like see you guys and like hang out and
So
like get your
cool.
record, and like, it's like, what the fuck? Like, this is so weird. Like, why is anybody interested?
I
And it's
know.
like, in like Instagram is just like opened so many doors for
Yep.
us. Like, it's
Agreed.
so anyways, yeah, long story short, Instagram is, I don't really pay attention to everything else.
Yeah, if you're willing to use this shit the right way, which is,
Yeah.
that's the work you guys are putting in, which is important. Because
Yeah.
Instagram can exist and also not be awesome for you if you don't use it. you
Yeah.
know?
Are there any fights in between now and next week?
Nope.
Okay, then let's curb UFC 2.
Yeah, that's fine. And maybe we don't even cover it.
I do want to. I want to
Okay.
hear what you think about it.
Yeah, I'm down.
Okay, cool. Where can they find you, Alan? Where can the people find you?
On Instagram, just It Came From the Sky website, alanashcraft.com.
Lovely. You can find me at James Ian Macmillan and at Stateside MGMT. And we are discussing doing a podcast Instagram.
Yeah.
You should do it.
Yeah. I'm down.
Yeah, we'll talk about it. I'm down too.
Yeah. I mean, I don't,
I don't know. I guess, yeah.
I'm not mad at the idea. It'll be easy to set up. It's just, it's annoying to build things,
I know.
build the following and stuff.
I know.
But
I don't want to start it with 2 people following, but
yeah, we'll just have to be
know.
those.
Hey, dude, you got 2 right here.
Yeah.
Mr. Sean Taylor and the Angry Lisas.
There it is.
There you go.
We just got to
Okay.
be those annoying people that from the management page, from your page, from my page, we just say,
yeah,
follow this, do that like weekly and
work
so
on
that
it.
we're not annoying, but we're driving traffic there and
Okay.
it'll
I think
build
it makes
organically.
sense. I think
Worst
we're a
thing
good
you can
fit
do
for
is
it.
get worried about like numbers. It's that
I
Gary
know.
V shit. Just do your thing and
do your thing. Alrighty. And then the spiel.
Yeah.
If you like the show, if you found this funny or entertaining or of value in any way, what do we want people to do?
Just tell one person.
Just tell one person.
Tell one person.
That'd be fantastic.
Uno persona. I'm
Um,
assuming. I don't know what's person.
2 people.
Well, yeah, I mean, you're
Maybe 3.
Dos persona.
You got
Well,
at least Tres Amigos.
Yeah. I would hope.
It's just, people are hustled every fucking day.
Yeah, to go through a gauntlet of
Every time
pushing
I know.
buttons, liking and
You
subscribing.
watch
and
your favorite YouTuber or fucking podcaster and it's the same shit.
Yeah.
Like, subscribe, share, and it becomes just a wave of stuff you just can ignore, like a commercial.
Yeah, so we just want to keep it realistic.
Yeah, just tell one person.
Or don't tell anybody but message.
And that actually makes all the difference.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like one person.
Yep.
Like one person
Yeah.
enjoying your shit is enough that like it's worth it.
Absolutely. Yeah.
It really is.
And it doesn't even have to be, you don't have to physically tell anybody. Just share it
Yep.
or, whatever.
Yeah, do the thing that...
And then
you
you're
feel
telling
natural.
multiple people. It's not even just one person. You're sharing it to all your followers and
Absolutely.
all that shit is much appreciated.
Alrighty, well, glad to be back.
Yeah.
And all is well in the hood. We'll be back next week. Not sure on a guest. Either way, we'll be here and we'll put on a show.
Yeah, we'll do it.
All right. Well, thanks for being on, Sean. Appreciate
Yeah,
it.
thanks,
man.
guys.
Appreciate it. That was fun.
All right. Well, it is Wednesday today. This will be up on Monday.
Sweet.
For all the people, they know that is podcast day. Mondays is when we upload the episode. We
Yeah.
love you all. Thank you for supporting the show. We will see you next time.
Have a good one.
Bye.
I should be at home in bed, but I'm back in the town where I buried you. I rewrote our history, reversed the scenario, gave it a key, yeah, gave it a tune. Made myself the good guy for some kind of